jtv.com.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump is praising the U.S. military success amid the ongoing war against Iran. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
The president says Iran has suffered tremendous losses.
They've lost their Navy. They've lost their Air Force. They have no anti-aircraft apparatus at all. They have no radar. Their leaders are gone.
Speaking to reporters on the South Lawn of the White House, the president added the U.S. could inflict even more damage.
We're leaving certain things that if we take them out, or we could take them out by this afternoon, in fact, within an hour.
Trump also promised what he called great safety for oil tankers passing through the Strait of Hormuz, even as Iran tries to shut down that vital thoroughfare. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The International Energy Agency agrees to release the largest volume of emergency oil reserves in its history to soften the blow on energy markets. The price of gas and diesel have been steadily rising since the U.S.-Israel war with Iran began. AAA says the national average for a gallon of regular is $3.58. That's up nearly 60 cents since the war started. Rideshare passengers are feeling the pinch.
The Uber rides, it was like a little bit on the expensive side.
If I do Uber the entire time, it's going to be costly because obviously it's all about supply and demand.
The UN aid chief warns the Middle East is in crisis with the ongoing conflict in Iran.
We're living through a moment right now of grave peril.
The UN's emergency relief coordinator, Tom Fletcher, said the crisis is escalating rapidly with violence spilling across borders, displacement, and soaring humanitarian needs.
And we're seeing the consequences spread faster than we can respond.
He said there are hundreds of thousands of people on the move in the region because of the fighting.
That's CBS's Cammie McCormick. National Weather Service teams are in the Midwest today, surveying damage from last night's suspected tornadoes that stretched from Pontiac, Illinois to Lake Village, Indiana, where 2 people died. Lake Township, Indiana Volunteer Fire Department spokesperson Lori Postma.
We worked through until about 4 o'clock this morning and achieved a primary search of all damaged areas.
One twister near Wheatfield, Indiana was an EF1 with wind speeds of 110 miles per hour. A 1,300-pound satellite is expected to crash into Earth today as it re-enters the atmosphere almost 14 years after it was first launched. CBS's Mark Strassman.
Sometime today, the Van Allen Probe A is expected to plunge uncontrolled back to Earth, burning up as it re-enters our atmosphere, or at least most of it. NASA's warning some pieces could survive re-entry, landing somewhere along the satellite's ground track near the equator.
Stocks are down on Wall Street. This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at jtv.com.
A Skorheim teacher formerly charged with child rape of a student. More on that straight ahead. But first, we check in with Lori over there at the KIRO Newsradio Traffic Desk.
And traffic is brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Westbound 90 in the Rainier in the Mount Baker Tunnel. We have a stalled bus. It's in the HOV lane, costing you about a minute heading westbound Bellevue to Seattle. Everett to Bellevue, 35 minutes now. Everett to Seattle, still about 45 minutes. You're slow approaching the I-405 interchange in Linwood, and then again as you head from Northgate into Seattle. Renton to Bellevue, still seeing about a 10-minute delay, and repairs for the First South Bridge are going to continue through midnight on Friday. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. The 62-year-old gym teacher at Skorheim K-12 arrested on suspicion of sexually assaulting a student for 2 years has now been officially charged. Daniel Bubar faces charges of second and third degree child rape and 1 count of communication with a minor for immoral purposes. According to court documents, the suspect engaged as a horrific abuse of power when he was supposed to be mentoring and offering guidance to the victim who suffered a trauma at her previous school. Prosecutors say the suspect admitted to having sexually contact with the victim at least 20 times when she was 13 and 14 years old. The victim told investigators school staff and students reported their concerns to school office staff, but the alleged abuse continued, according to court documents. Bubar being held on $750,000 bail and is scheduled to be arraigned Monday morning. Lawmakers have approved a new income tax on households earning more than $1 million a year, passing the House on a 51-46 vote. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports it could mean the state's highest earners could soon pack up and leave.
As soon as the Millionaire's tax passed the House, Starbucks founder Howard Schultz announced he's moving to Florida, where they don't have a state income tax. Former Attorney General Rob McKenna predicts the tax will also scare away potential businesses. And the result?
We're going to turn into Oregon, which has much lower per capita income levels than Washington State because they don't have the economic engines that we do.
McKenna says the tax is likely to face legal challenges soon after Governor Bob Ferguson signs it into law. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank says he will resist a new Washington law that could allow the state to decertify elected sheriffs. Swank told John Curley yesterday that he won't comply if the law conflicts with his First Amendment rights or his oath to serve local residents.
I'm standing up for the rights of people. And if I can't say what's on my mind, exercise my First Amendment rights, then nobody will be able to. So this is all about speech that I say that they don't like.
Swank was sworn in January of last year. And House Bill 1923 will let counties, ports, and transit agencies create new ferry districts to expand passenger service. Some lawmakers worry amendments could limit operations, but advocates say the bill could help ease ferry delays, the Seattle Times reports. And now check on your KIRO News Radio weather. A stormy day across the region with wind picking up to gusts up to 50 for the evening commute. Heavy rain down here and tons of snow across the mountains with blizzard conditions overnight. 44 and raining in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show.
What day is it? Wednesday.
All
Welcome
day.
to Wednesday.
All day today, buddy.
Jake Skorheim sitting right here. Spike O'Neill sitting right there.
Yeah,
you
man.
and I just ran in here.
I know. We're both down the hallway looking at the clock. Where's Laura? We asked.
You know, we're both using the restroom.
Hey, yeah. Well, I don't think we need to share that much.
TMI.
Yeah.
Much information.
That's what, we're on the same cycle.
That threw me off.
Happy Wednesday,
we're
brother.
On the same schedule.
Yeah, okay. You call it what you
Restroom
want.
schedule. All right, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today.
Laura's now leaving the room.
Okay, so in a little bit, this is really going to be fun. We're going to talk a little bit of sports. Everybody's kind of like hankering to get back into baseball because the Mariners were so great last season.
2 weeks till opening day. Pretty close, right? A couple 2 weeks?
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah.
But yesterday, we had that fun story. Cal Raleigh and Rosarina got in a bit of a scuffle.
Beef or no beef?
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
That was a great debate yesterday.
So to further that conversation today, Team USA was playing against Team Italy yesterday, and they were feeling their oats. They were feeling pretty good, so good, in fact, that they didn't play a lot of their starters. And then they lost the game. And now in the World Baseball Classic, Team USA, who was favored to win, may not move on. The scenario can play out a number of different ways. Chris Sullivan's going to join us at 12:30 to talk about this because it actually is really interesting. And what has grabbed people's attention is what the coach of Team USA, hubris was speaking a little bit, or just maybe ignorance, I don't know. But he was, before the game, he said something that is now coming back to haunt him in a big way. That does remind me of when you recorded that song about the Seahawks' second Super Bowl.
Yeah. We counted our chickens. And we tempted fate. You don't tempt the fates.
Don't tempt fate.
You don't do it.
Perfect segue, Spike. Perfect segue. Tempting fate. Luke Ducey from KIRO News Radio joins us right now. Luke, welcome to the show.
Thanks. That's the segue, though. I am the
no. You're not
tempter.
You're not tempting our fate. No, you're not. He's quite a temptress, and here he is. No, you're joining us because we're going to talk a little bit about this income tax.
Well, that's right. It's about counting your chickens before they move out of state.
There was a 24-hour debate in the House. They talked about it. Everybody got up and said everything they wanted to say, and then Democrats passed it, and now it's going to go back to the Senate, and then it's going to go to Bob Ferguson, who will eventually, he's indicated that he will sign it.
Yeah, he'll sign it.
Oh, my God. He finally really did it. You maniac! Damn you! Damn you all to hell!
It's on the shores of what lake is that down there in Olympia? The one that's next to the Capitol.
Oh, that's
The Red Sea.
That's what's it called. So tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you believe it was 24 hours? They were up for 24 hours on the House floor debating this, and then every time that Republicans would introduce an amendment, some 60 amendments to try to slow the bill down and get some things into the bill to change it a little bit. They'd have to stop and debate and vote, and in the end, after all that was said and done, it passed 51-46, with 8 Democrats actually voting against the bill.
God bless you.
But a 9.9% tax on households or businesses, annual income above $1 million. I think we all kind of know what this is right now and why Democrats like it and why Republicans don't like it, or vice versa. So the rub is what you want to talk about, though, I think. So we're starting to see, and we heard this from former Attorney General Rob McKenna. I've got some sound from him that's really interesting. Excellent. Some predictions of what's going to happen. We're starting to see it already a little bit. So right after it was announced that this passed the House, and it'll go back to the Senate for a little bit because they had some amendments. They got to just vote on those real quick, and then the governor will sign it.
Only 2 of the amendments actually passed, right?
I think it was 3.
Was it 3? Okay.
I think
last
it was
I heard
3.
it was 2. I mean,
Could be 2.
I trust you more than me.
I don't know. I wouldn't trust me. Anyway, so Howard Schultz, the founder of Starbucks, announced right after the vote came out, he's leaving.
Coincidence?
He says it is. He says he's just going for
right.
He says it has nothing to do with the tax, and he's going for the sun and the fun. And his wife are moving to Miami, where they have no state income tax.
He's calling this the retirement phase of his life.
Retirement phase.
Grandkids are on the East Coast. Grandkids and families his children and their families are on the East Coast.
A lot of old people retire to Florida.
Sure they do.
Everybody gets it, but what are the odds that he puts this thing out right as they're making this decision?
Minutes after. Yeah, minutes.
But he doesn't explicitly say, and I do think there's an interesting debate that people are having. Was this related to the income tax? Now, obviously, I think it was related to the income tax. Spike, you must think it's related to the income tax.
I don't think it's related at all. I think the release of it is related to the income tax.
You don't think?
I think Schultz this is very performative in my opinion. Schultz was going to move to Florida. He's already moved. They've already moved. And it wasn't when the income tax was proposed. That's not when they decided to pick up and move. They were already going. But the release of it today, to coincide with it moving its way through this new tax, moving its way through the legislature, this was orchestrated. This is performative.
But it must be related to it because he could have made this announcement 3 months from now. He could have made it a year and a half from now because the income tax is not even supposed to go into effect until 29, right?
Well, he's retiring, right? Is that what I'm getting from this letter?
He says, he's moving into the
Would the income tax wouldn't affect him at all? He's retiring. He's not making an income. He's living off his retirement benefits. Those are tax exempt from a millionaire's income tax.
Doesn't he
it's got nothing to do with
Doesn't he have investments? Like he's retired, maybe his day-to-day thing, but he's got capital gains things he's worrying about, all these different things.
That's not what got passed. That's an income tax. It's completely. It was worse for the state of Washington when he moved the headquarters or a portion of the headquarters to Tennessee.
Okay.
This is nothing but
So he's not moving because of taxes at all.
No. I mean,
no relation to taxes.
Not the millionaire's tax that's moving its way through the legislature. That one, I think, has nothing to do with it. It doesn't affect the guy. Am I wrong? Am I reading this wrong?
I don't
He's
know.
a retiree.
I don't know because if he has income derived from whatever, but if it's classified as income and it's above that $1 million threshold, then certainly he'd be taxed on that.
Yeah.
But I don't know what his investments are. I don't know where he makes money.
Because
he probably has stock. I'm sure he has stock and options and all this. But that would be subject to capital gains.
Capital gains, right? Which is different beast inside the boat with us. There's a lot of beasts in the boat. I get it.
I don't know what his official day-to-day capacity is going to be.
And by the
For
way,
a long time, he was chairman. Then he was chairman emeritus, and there's been varying stages of whatever his employment at Starbucks is. I don't know how he signs off on his W-2.
I don't think we need Howard Schultz picking up and moving to the Sunshine State to let us know this is a bad idea. We already know this is a bad idea. I think this is just performative.
I thought it was ironic, though, that there wasn't one amendment that was introduced that asked to put the whole vote or the whole tax to the side until the NBA agreed to bring another team back to Seattle.
That was one of the amendments. Sure, you bet.
I thought that was kind of ironic with the Schultz announcement.
That is funny. So yeah, he makes this announcement. It's got, I mean,
so that's one. You all talked to Jason Bickford yesterday.
Talked to Jason Bickford,
and I talked about that this morning on Seattle's Morning News in Snohomish County. A group of 30 businesses who are coming forward, warning lawmakers that we might see more and more higher earners move away as well. They're very concerned. And then here's former Attorney General Rob McKenna, and this is what he predicts could happen.
This legislature has systematically dismantled Washington State's competitive advantages that have brought great companies here or inspired people to start their companies here, and all of that is going away now.
And the result, he says, is, and I think this is going to turn some heads when people hear this,
we're going to turn into Oregon, which has much lower per capita income levels than Washington State because they don't have the economic engines that we do.
We're going to turn into Oregon. Yeah. Rumors are that he could be part of the legal challenge because that's expected.
I love McKenna. I hope he is. Yeah,
he could be part of the legal challenge when
he ran
this
for
becomes
governor.
law.
I voted for Rob McKenna.
Can we go back to the Howard Schultz debate for a second?
Yeah.
I want to read you. I mean, if you haven't gotten a chance to read this, he posted this on LinkedIn. Then it obviously made its way everywhere. The reason I think this is related to the income tax, and again, I don't know his day-to-day collection of income. I don't know what that stream looks like. He talks about a retirement phase of his life. Retirement for billionaires is a much different thing. He might be investing in other businesses. Maybe he's stepping back from Starbucks in a different way. But if he has other businesses he's building in Washington, or if he I doubt Howard Schultz is done making money. The guy's very good at it. So I imagine there's a possibility that he does start other ventures up in Miami, or in Florida. As a tax base, that would be a friendlier place to start a business than Washington.
By the way, if you're listening on the internet from Florida and you're thinking about selling your basketball team ever, don't sell it to this guy. I'm just as a cautionary tale.
Fair enough.
Okay, because I got nothing against the nice people.
Let me move it down though to this part, and we're not going to read the whole thing here, but he walks through, and the reason I think it's related to the income tax, other than the unbelievable coincidence of him posting this minutes after, the reason I think it's related is because he walks through his entire journey of building his empire in Washington. He talks about it. I'm going to read the first part here, and then I'm going to jump to the paragraph that I think is really relevant. He says, 44 years ago, Sherry and I, that's his wife, made the cross-country trip from New York City to Seattle in our 1979 Audi, along with Jonas, our golden retriever. We were starting a new life. Sherry would be the breadwinner in the family, taking a career in design, and I started a new job on September 7th, 1982, at a place called Starbucks. Back then, the Pike Place Starbucks only sold whole bean coffee. Today, it's the most visited Starbucks in the world. The history of the company is bound up in the very foundation walls and floorboards of our first store in the city's historic market. If you get a chance, obviously, we've probably all been to that Starbucks. Anytime somebody comes from out of town, they always go, "Where's the Starbucks?" And I go, "You don't want to go. It's a long line to get in." Here's the part that I think is relevant. Like many other Seattle-based companies, Starbucks today stands on the shoulders of the many Pacific Northwesterners who built the company. They helped shape the culture, the benefits, and the brand, contributing to the civic community and public life of the city and state. It is our hope that Washington will remain a place for business and entrepreneurship to thrive, creating essential opportunity for those in Seattle and the surrounding areas. That right there, to me, is him saying, you guys have just embraced this thing, which I am thinking, I'm speaking for him. He didn't explicitly say this, but
he doesn't take my calls anymore.
Well,
we had a falling out.
I would wonder if Howard Schultz is not saying, listen, the environment where I was able to build Starbucks was very healthy for businesses back in the 1970s and 1980s, and he did very, very well. 1990s, I mean, geez, was there anybody that was like more popular? I mean, all the movies in the 1990s, every rom-com was like, let's go to Starbucks and have a cup of coffee and fall in love. And now Howard Schultz is saying, it is my hope that Washington remains a place. He didn't say Washington will remain a place. It is my hope. And I think it's relevant because when you look at what Starbucks has recently done, just yesterday we talked about them shutting down 5 more locations in Seattle. We talked about the mayor of Katie Wilson. Her first act as mayor was going to a Starbucks protest and saying, don't buy their coffee. I'm not going to buy their coffee, and neither should you. We talked about Starbucks moving, not their headquarters, but expanding their headquarters
to the southeast. You bet.
Nashville.
Yeah.
And now you have Howard Schultz on the same day they do the income tax saying that we're going to Miami.
Well, I understand that sentiment, and everybody we've talked to has shared that sentiment. We were talking to a business owner before the show started. A dear friend.
Good friend of ours who came over.
And he said, look,
God bless him.
When he built his business, these restrictions, these taxations weren't in place. And now that they're putting these in place, it's like literally like pulling the ladder up behind you. The people who are, we're talking about people who say, well, I can deserve to pay more because, you made your money. Back when it was a business-friendly environment, it's not anymore. To that paragraph about Schultz hoping it can remain, it's got nothing to do with whether he moves or not. That's my point about him, the announcement of his move. Is that performative, or is it because of this law that's passed? He felt that way before the law was passed. It's been a slow trickle of bad for business in the last 20 years.
I agree with you that Washington has been a bad place for business for a long time. But I do think there is a breaking point at which they look and they say, hey, we finally reached a point where now you're saying anything over $1 million that we make, you get 10% extra of that. Now, they didn't have that until yesterday. Now, it doesn't go into effect until 29.
Yeah.
But if you don't think that has an impact on whether or not people like Howard Schultz.
No, it does. I'm with you. I'm conceding
we agree that it's part of the income tax.
But it's not why he's moving. That's my point. Yes, but the whole question was, right, why is he moving? Was it because of the tax? No, it's performative.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
And maybe he's standing up for the business community, and I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
But he was moving anyway. He's already moved. He's moving for grandkids.
Is there a case to be made that his message is a little disingenuous and misleading? Because
please,
that's not the original Starbucks. It was actually
down
the street on the corner.
That's right.
You talk about a guy's bad for business. He took the NBA out of town.
I may and may not have actually said to tourists one time as I walked past there, that's not the original Starbucks.
You know what's
Isn't
interesting?
That horrible?
No, that's you giving somebody a gift.
Horrible.
I was
the
thinking,
gift of honesty.
Can I share something with you guys too? I was thinking about this Howard Schultz thing, and I was like, I'll bet you Spike is going to bring up the Sonics, and you're right to do so.
Sure.
Howard Schultz is going to be known for two things in Seattle. He's going to be known for coffee, and he's going to be known as the guy who was very instrumental in the Sonics not being here anymore.
He screwed us. Yeah, I can say that. That's
Here's what I would say about that. I think he was wrong to do what he did with the Sonics. And yet I totally understand why a company like Starbucks would want to leave and go somewhere else. And Howard Schultz would want to leave and go somewhere else.
I'm with you 100%.
The Sonics was an institution that he bought from somebody. But it was a local institution. It feels like if somebody bought the Seahawks and wanted to move them, even though we don't technically own it, we do feel like an ownership over it because we have loved them and we have bled green and blue, or in the Sonics case, green and white.
And it's our money that helped them grow.
And
Same as Starbucks.
Well, no. Howard Schultz, yes. Does he get certain tax breaks for being big companies? Yes, just as the Seahawks do and just as the Sonics did.
Yeah, you bet.
But those benefit the local community, right?
Yeah.
Now, Starbucks, Howard Schultz built that company on his back.
Yeah.
He conceived it. I mean, I know that there was a Starbucks originally was a tiny little thing. They had whole bean coffee, but he recognized I could take this model that I'm seeing in Italy, and I could apply this all around the country and build something amazing here in the United States.
Same could be said for Amazon.
Okay,
right.
So for Amazon, these guys, they took the risk. He drove across the country with his wife. She's the main breadwinner. Right? He's not making any money. He's going to build that thing. At some point, I think the state has a much bigger claim over the Sonics than it does over Starbucks.
Absolutely. Howard Schultz didn't bring the NBA to Seattle.
And while people get tax benefits, which I totally understand, they give tax benefits because it benefits the community. They're not writing checks. They're just saying, we're not going to charge you as much as we legally could charge you. We're going to give you benefits because we recognize there are benefits to you throwing a thriving community here. They're now saying, we want to take extra money from you. And I think that's why it's scaring people away, like Howard Schultz and like Starbucks.
I'm not arguing
I don't fault him for leaving that.
Yeah.
I still have a bone to pick with him about the Sonics, by the way. But I don't fault him if Starbucks says, hey, we got to go. I don't want to see that happen. But if they're not going to give you a business community where you can make money, then what are you supposed to do?
It's going to be really interesting, I think, as well to watch and see which types of businesses react to this, especially when it becomes law. I mean, I think when it becomes law, it's signed into law, and it's in effect, then we're really going to see some churn here, and maybe not from other sectors as well. And I say that because, different businesses in different industries have different margins, of course. I wonder in the coffee industry, I imagine the margins are pretty small or slimmer, perhaps like grocery stores and stuff. So, in other words, within that and those predictions of those markets and the thresholds within the paradigm of that company, the board and everything, all the expectations, somewhere in there, it could be that, hey, this just doesn't make mathematical sense. We're going to leave. For others, maybe they're willing to stay and pay the tax and because it doesn't affect them enough. I mean, it's going to be really interesting who goes, who doesn't, who reacts which way. And
we get to, it's kind of like a science experiment. We get to all sit back and watch.
We do. Yeah.
They've now mixed these pieces together, and we get to see is there going to be an
explosion?
Except
we have to raise our family in this petri dish they're using as an experimental field.
North Oregon.
Yeah. Oof.
Be interesting to see.
I still don't think it's ever going to hit, to be honest with you. I really don't think it's going to hit.
Really?
I think between legal challenges, as Rob McKenna has talked about, now they're already talking about how long will it take for an initiative to be put on the ballot to have it repealed. by the voters.
Courts like remedies, and the remedy would be to put it to the vote for the people.
Yeah.
Spike, I'm hoping you're right.
We'll see.
Hoping you're right.
I mean, it's not popular out of the gate. If you think you hate it now, wait till you drive it.
Wait until you have it. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, Luke Ducey, thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you very much.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Chris Sullivan's going to join us next. We're going to talk a little baseball. It's going to get fiery. Stick around. We'll be right back.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals.
Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
An organized home is a happy home and a happy homeowner. John Curley here. Closets by Design made me and my home happy. Experience the quality and backing of a national brand with friendly local Seattle service. From booking the appointment to a free in-home consult to installation day, Closets by Design will leave you wowed and clutter-free. Right now, get up to 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule today.
Insulation rebates from PSE are at historic highs. American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $3 million in PSE insulation rebates last year, more than any contractor in Washington. Homeowners, business owners, and PSE trust American Crawl Space and Pest Services. Was your home built before 1990? Visit AmericanCrawl.com to see how much you can save on replacing your insulation.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Costco, Hagen's, or Whole Foods. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Are you in pain? Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hi, everybody. It's John Curley. Before you make that decision, I recommend you see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did, and it's been a game changer. My doctor took a look at my x-rays and said, well, looks like you need a whole new hip. And then he said, wait, how old are you? And I told him, and then he said, well, wait, you're too young for a hip. You're just going to have to, live with the pain. We'll see you in 3 years. It was horrible. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. The Social Security Administration's Inspector General is investigating a potential data breach by a former DOJ employee. More from CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace.
Department of Government Efficiency. DOJ. Perhaps you've heard of it.
A whistleblower claims a former DOJ software engineer bragged about having the sensitive Social Security data of 500 million living and dead Americans on a thumb drive and planned to share the data with the government contractor he now works for. The Washington Post reports the former DOJ employee allegedly told a colleague he expected to receive a presidential pardon if he were ever convicted of a crime. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Police in Tacoma say they have arrested a man accused of setting fire to dozens of trees on private property within just 16 hours. KIRO 7 spoke with a witness who helped extinguish one of those blazes.
The time it took me to get the fire extinguisher, like 3 more of the trees were gone. Like it took seconds.
The suspect now faces arson and felony harassment charges. The founder of Starbucks says he's leaving Washington State. Howard Schultz announced yesterday that he and his wife are moving to Miami. The timing is hard to ignore. It came just hours after state Democrats passed an income tax on people earning more than $1 million a year. Schultz says the move is about family and sunshine, not taxes. According to Newsweek, he's worth about $3.5 billion. He bought Starbucks back in 1987 and served as CEO 3 separate times. When it comes to the war with Iran, President Donald Trump has cycled from calls for unconditional surrender to sounding amenable to an end state in which Iran trades one hardline Ayatollah for another. Washington Congressman Adam Smith tells CNN the objective is still not clear.
It has been a massive disruption to accomplish what? To degrade Iran's missile capability for some period of time. Is it 6 months? Is it a year? We don't know, but it seems unlikely that it has any sort of permanency to it. It weakened them, sure.
The war is now 12 days old. Mount Baker ski area is flipping the switch on night skiing for the first time in its 73-year history. Officials say Chair 7 will be lit and spinning Friday and Saturday evenings, letting skiers and riders enjoy runs after dark. Quick check on Wall Street. The Dow is down 385 points, S&P 500 down 20, and NASDAQ down 40. And now check out your KIRO News Radio traffic with Lori.
And Nate, we got the alert that the repairs for the First South Bridge are going to continue all the way through Friday. So keep that in mind for your commute. Traffic is brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Northbound I-5 at 516, a stall in the HOV lane. The bus in the Mount Baker Tunnel has been removed. Linwood to Bellevue, 20 minutes, and Linwood to Seattle is a 30-minute drive. Seeing about a 4-minute delay, Renton to Bellevue. Traction tires required on I-90 and US 2. Last year was one of the hottest on record. Get efficient heating and cooling with Home Comfort Alliance heat pump for the price of AC. Don't wait. Visit homecomfortalliance.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
And now check out your weather. A stormy day across the region, steady rain, heavy at times, and in a few hours, that wind's really going to kick in. We're getting reports of gusts pushing 50 miles per hour towards the end of the evening commute. Heavy snow over our mountain passes, and prepare for power outages overnight. Rainy and 44 right now, downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. This is kind of a fun topic. Chris Sullivan joins us right now, and we're not talking about traffic or anything right now, Chris. We're going to talk a little sports.
This is still a choke point, am I right?
How so?
This is a choke point when we talk about the manager of the Team USA.
Nice. Choking.
One of the biggest chokes in international baseball competition history.
Yes. Okay,
choke point.
This is another Chris Sullivan choke point.
Yeah.
So a little backstory on this. World Baseball Classic is happening right now, and Team USA is playing and is the favorite to win the entire thing.
Yeah,
right?
their roster is loaded. It's an all-star team of MLB players.
And yesterday we were playing a bunch of audio clips and having a lot of fun. There was this kind of thing that happened between Cal Raleigh, who's behind the plate. Yeah. And then
Randy Rosarina.
Yeah. He reaches down as he's up to the plate to shake Cal's hand. Cal kind of waves him off. He's not going to shake his hand. Which, if you're in the middle of a game, totally excusable. It's not like they met each other at a steakhouse and saw each other and he said, "Hey, how's it going, buddy?" And then he's like, "I'm not touching your hand." It's in the middle of a game. These guys are massively competitive.
Right.
So, Rosarina, who's from Cuba but plays for Mexico, he was on the Mexican team that lost to Team USA.
5-3, I believe. Yeah.
5-3.
Good game.
So, after that game, Team USA is kind of flying high. They were 3-0. What happened the night up?
Well, let's just say Team USA was very happy with beating Mexico.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they partied like they had won the AL West. If you were the Mariners, there was a lot of celebrating to be done until the wee hours of the morning.
They spent hours post-game in the clubhouse celebrating.
Telling stories and having a blast.
Because of the choke point, the bad management. Play this clip from the USA. What's the skipper's name?
Mark DeRosa. This is Mark DeRosa right before the Italy game, which was yesterday.
Ton of respect for Italy. It's weird. We want to win. We want to win this game, even though our tickets punched to the quarterfinals, because Mexico plays Italy actually tomorrow. So the way the schedule lines up, this is an important game for us. Nolan McLean will start. He's on the bump and he's good to go. He's an absolute beast, and I expect him to throw the heck out of him.
So you hear him there. He says our tickets punched.
Yeah. So
what happened at that game?
Then built his lineup around the fact that he could probably rest a couple of his key players. Sure, they wanted to win, go 4-0, but he thought they were in. So, maybe you throw Nolan McLean. Again, good player, been in the Major League Baseball a couple of months. He came up last year, only 48 innings in the major leagues. So this is a kid, they're getting him a little bit of exposure, get his work in for his team, which I believe is the Mets. And so he came in, got rocked right away. Team USA players who did not start this game.
They lost the Italy game.
They lost the Italy game badly. I mean, the score turned it out 8-6, but they were down 8-0.
Italy hit 3 home runs.
Correct. All early. Bryce Harper doesn't play. Cal Raleigh doesn't play. Alex Bregman doesn't play. Buxton doesn't play. Turang doesn't play. 5 starters. He rested.
Why are you resting Cal Raleigh?
Well, I think the skipper.
Why are you resting Bryce Harper?
Did the skipper misspeak or just not know where they stood?
He didn't understand. It sounds like nobody understood the rules, and that's the thing.
So what are the rules?
Tournament baseball is not like Major League Baseball.
This round robin. This is like the World Cup.
This is like the Olympics for hockey.
Right.
This is like the World Cup soccer or
group stage.
The 57 different things the Sounders play in that I don't understand. There are rules that go down to tiebreakers that even if you beat somebody and the other, it turns out you're all 3-1. Like they could be after tonight's Italy-Mexico game, that it comes down to runs scored or runs given up or mounts over and so they were not guaranteed to make it into the quarterfinals or into the knockout stage before that game with Italy, and the coach totally misunderstood the rules.
Their ticket was not punched.
So Was he just misspeaking, or did he actually?
No, I'm
believe
pretty
that
sure he didn't know.
He didn't know that there was still a possibility that they don't
these
go
are
beyond
rules
it.
that they don't play under all the time, but yet he's the coach of Team USA. You would think that they would know this is an international competition.
Let's listen to that one more time. I want to hear and
Our
see.
ticket is punched.
Let's hear what he says here. There is a possibility that
Sully
he
does
was
a great
just-
impression of the guy.
Yeah, that is pretty much sums it up. But I'm gonna play it one more time.
Ton of respect for Italy. It's weird. We want to win. We want to win this game, even though our ticket.
Why would he say that does lead me to believe, like you're saying, he believes that they're already. It's
Our
a fait
ticket's
accompli.
punched.
Yeah, there's no way to misinterpret
And
that.
then he says, and so it's weird. We want to win this game. Why would that be weird? Of course you want to win the game.
Well,
But
it wasn't a must-win, which he didn't realize it was a must-win.
He didn't
which
realize that if it was.
But why didn't somebody pull him aside? They're like, hey, just DeRosa, just so you
They're
know.
like the rest of the team, the rest of Team USA,
Well,
when they
maybe
looked
they
at his
didn't know.
lineup
Their
and
coach
said,
didn't know.
"Hey, you might want to." I mean, granted, Team Italy is not great. They're not, but I mean, they've played well. They're undefeated still.
got
And
MLB,
but you
they're MLB guys.
Well, and they're all American,
Some.
which is hilarious. They're all American dudes that play for Italy.
But they don't have half the roster America does. And
No, but I mean,
they're
they-
5.5 run underdogs today. Italy is with Mexico.
Yeah.
And
how does this work out then? So now Italy and Mexico are playing today.
Correct.
And that game is going to happen at like 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock our time.
Okay,
First
4
pitch.
o'clock our time. So we'll be off the air. What is going to be the scenario where Team USA still moves beyond?
We're really cheering for Cappuccino.
Okay.
We're cheering hard for, which, by the way, is the home run celebration for Team Italy. They put on like a smoking jacket in the dugout, and the manager gives them a shot of cappuccino and then kisses them on both cheek. What, you weren't watching the game last night? I was watching this. I'm so
It's
starved
awesome.
for baseball. I was watching this, and I was getting jacked up. I'm like, why am I feeling like this? It's just the WBC. But no,
You still have the residual baseball
yeah,
effects,
probably.
though.
And, being a coach for a while, forever, I love watching and other teams play and just the other stories. But yeah,
So we want the smoking
Italy
jacket.
to
We want
win,
Italy to win.
straight up.
if Italy wins, Mexico has 2 losses and they're
And they're out. We
Okay.
finish second in our group. Italy finishes first. We move on.
Is there a version where Italy wins the game? Is if Italy wins,
It
no
is
matter
straight
what?
up. It doesn't matter.
yeah.
They'll be
Okay.
4-0. Mexico be
Now,
2-2.
if Mexico wins the game,
That's when we get into trouble.
so what happens if Mexico wins the game? Is there still a scenario where Team USA can go beyond, even
Yes.
if Mexico wins?
Yes, but the Mexico has to score 5 or more runs.
This is confusing to me. I feel like DeRosa now.
They measure runs scored per outs recorded. That's the dynamic of the 3-way tiebreaker between 3-1 teams. If
Okay.
Mexico wins and scores 5 runs, we're in. If Mexico wins and scores 4 or less, Italy and Mexico go.
So if Mexico wins, everybody's 3-1.
Correct, and
Yes.
then all the
And then
tiebreakers
it's all
start
about
coming
the
in,
runs
and you can go online, and there are a bunch of people who baseball is a statistical nerds world. They're all the scores. Well, if the score is 10-8 and it's 5-6, and they're all like all these maturations. So it's not just as simple as Mexico by 5 or scoring 5 runs. So there's some other maturations in there because I've seen other scores that I'm like, well, that's not 5 runs, but maybe the different. I don't know. Either way, we messed up last night and put us in a situation where Team USA we are watching a game and it's totally out of our control. And if Italy and Mexico get together before the game, I would see this stuff online. It's hilarious.
Sure.
They shake hands. Mexico hits a home run, or they let them score 1 run, and then they all lay down their bats and strike out the whole rest of the game. Mexico wins 1-0. They both advance and they screw the U.S. over.
Let me tell you something. Have they seen what we can do in Iran? They better not do that.
Well, that's just assuming we have a plan.
Well, it's since
I
America's.
wonder if there's a little deterrence that'll happen between Mexico and Italy. They'll say, hey, guess what? These guys don't mess around. Let's not ruin their chances.
It's in both their best interest for that to happen.
Because then they both advance.
America's the heavy favorite.
And America was supposed to be the best.
Right. America wants Mexico wants the USA out of this tournament. It's their best chance to win. It behooves them to get a 1-run lead and bow down.
I'm not saying collusion's going to happen, but that would be.
But it's likely to happen.
Those 2 teams.
Can you imagine
a little tequila and a little cappuccino and having a little fun?
Here's a further thing to think about. Randy Rosarina, who's been taking a lot of flack for that whole post-game thing. And if it's real, we're also not decided if it's real or not, or if it's just like a fake beef that they're just being funny to like make it more media friendly. It would also be kind of fun after the fact. Randy Rosarina, if it was real, he kind of wins that argument now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, with him and Cal, he comes out the better. His team's moving on, and
And also, I mean, let's not forget, Canzone's on the Italy team. So we have two Mariners starters that are playing tonight that could be moving on, who would be lording over Cal in the dugout going forward.
Crazy times.
Yeah, we messed up big time.
Yeah, well, we didn't. Rosa did. All right, thank you so much, Chris, for coming
Anytime.
in. We will be paying attention this evening. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. March is the start of spring. My outdoor list is already growing. Fortunately, Valentine Roofing, they've got my back. And they've got yours when it comes to checking off those exterior maintenance jobs that put you in a precarious position. And with Valentine's huge March promotion, they're not only going to take care of you this year, they have you covered for next year, too. This month only, you can get a free year of roof maintenance when you purchase a new roof. Then you can enjoy seasonal checkups and professional care to keep your new roof looking its best. Plus flexible financing with payments as low as $159 a month. You're going to get the Valentine experience, guaranteed with every project, seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. It's no surprise Valentine Roofing is trusted across the Puget Sound by thousands of homeowners and was voted the 2025 Gold Best Roofing Company in the Seattle Times Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards. So take advantage of Valentine's free year of roof maintenance when you purchase a new roof by calling 206-ROOFING. That's 206-ROOFING. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-777-1225.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Yikey Wawa.
What?
My hot water.
Yeah?
Not so hot.
Water heater trouble?
It's not working.
We can fix that.
This week?
How about today?
Apollo Plumbing really is ready right now.
Especially when it comes to water heater replacement.
Think I need a new one?
Is it more than 10 years old?
It is.
Probably so.
Doesn't heat like it used to.
It runs out?
All the time.
That's a warning sign.
Uh-oh.
So are little leaks.
But Apollo can get me a new one?
Installed today by our clean screen trained and trusted plumbers. They're water heater experts.
But I probably got to pay a rush fee.
No extra charge.
You make this too easy.
We'll even haul off the old one.
A new water heater.
Same day. That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
This is going to get my budget in hot water.
Got you covered there, too.
How?
Our available payment plans.
I don't have to wait?
Or take cold showers.
You are a lifesaver.
Call us this morning. You'll have hot water today.
That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Did you know that most people wait 6 or 7 years before they buy a new TV? That's a lot of time in front of one TV. So why not get one of the best sets for the next 7 years? Like one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony models. Too expensive? What if you could get up to $1,000 trade-in for your old set? Who would do a stupid deal like this? Right now, at Video Only, you can get big bucks for your old set as a trade-in and a hot price on the new models. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only.
Rolling Stone calls Victor Wooten one of the 10 greatest bassists of all time. Now he's bringing the Wooten brothers to Dimitro's Jazz Alley, March 19th through 22nd. 4 nights, 6 shows, pure funk. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. This was a really interesting piece. I saw this piece about, and it literally applies to almost everybody who's listening. It's a paper that was written about cell phone usage with adults. We always we talk a lot about on the show about how dangerous social media and cell phones could be for developing minds,
sure,
like little children, and why we think it's a bad idea.
Studies are in, man. The verdict is in. It is detrimental to the mental health and the social and psychological growth of kids.
Not just kids, though, adults too. There's something called phone-based adulthood. And it's basically this idea that we are now, I'm going to read you just a little piece of this because I found it so fascinating. A 2025 YouGov survey found that most Americans keep their phone on the bed or directly beside it at night, with younger adults more likely to sleep with the device on the mattress itself. That sounds crazy to me, but I know that there's a lot of people.
Wait, you guys don't do that?
Do you sleep with your phone on your bed?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because the smartest thing Apple ever did was put an alarm inside of an iPhone. It's
That's
my
true.
alarm.
It is your alarm.
You know?
But you don't have somewhere else outside of the bed that you could
I
put
don't
it?
usually keep it on my nightstand.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine's at least on my nightstand, and I think I may take small comfort in that, but it's not more than an arm's reach away.
So it's funny because I also have mine in the room. It's near the bed. It's on the nightstand, but my justification for that is twofold. If something happens in our house where I quickly need to dial 911, I want it right there. And 2, I use it, as Laura does, as the alarm. I use it as an alarm.
Well, these are all valid reasons to do this, and that the story speaks to. None of those are detrimental to our mental health and our relationship
and our
health.
relationships for adults.
Right.
But they're saying that the phone is actually now a distraction. It's like kind of killing people's sex lives because people get in bed now, and instead of looking at each other and going like, "Oh,
how's
I like
your
that.
day, honey?"
Yeah.
Now it's how's the world's day? How's the government's day? How's my social media feed's day?
100%. It's that picture that we've all seen of like a couple both basking in the warm glow of their phone screens, facing the opposite direction. So their backs are to each other, but their faces are facing apart, and they're both looking at their phones, scrolling. It's just that scrolling thing that everybody does. And so what I started doing at night to stop from doing this, it was a problem for me. I was, it's right there. Sure. You have the worlds of information and entertainment and everything at your fingertips available at all times. Right. And so I started doing airplane mode after a certain time of night. So 9 o'clock at night, I'm airplane mode. And no matter what, like even if you want to text me, I'm not going to get it. A lot of people have do not disturb turned on.
Sure.
That's also a thing that people do. But I was like, I don't want any internet coming through my phone. Also Wi-Fi. I'm worried about Wi-Fi frying my brain while I'm sleeping. I don't know if that's a thing, but people seem to be worried about it.
Laura puts hers in her pillow.
Sometimes
like the
under
phone
my
fairy's
pillow,
gonna bring
actually,
a new phone.
so that I can listen to a podcast to fall asleep, and then it kind of reverberates through the pillow.
But that's I feel like that makes sense to me because that's a way that you might. It's like somebody who might use a sound machine.
Yeah. Well, let me see. My top 2 are Boring History for Sleep and Rain on a Tent, continuous playlist.
Boring History for Sleep?
Yep. Excellent podcast.
Wow.
Do you guys
the evolution of mud huts.
They're like, here's what life would be like in medieval England.
Oh my God.
Fascinating. We're all following.
Working on me right now.
Listen to this. All of this adds up to what we call phone-based adulthood, a structural problem where cognitive saturation meets the most frictionless, ever-present relief valve ever engineered, which really does describe phones perfectly and kind of like, I don't know, sends a little chill down my spine. Most people aren't ignoring their partners out of cruelty or indifference. They're doing it inadvertently, almost subconsciously. The phone offers stimulation, relief, and the feeling of being somewhere else. For an exhausted adult, that's a compelling proposition, but it slowly and quietly eats away at their relationship, which I got to be honest, I 100% agree with. Like tell me if you guys have this feeling. I know, Laura, you're not in a relationship right now, but you have been recently.
Does your cat feel neglected? I guess
I honestly, sometimes I think she does.
Well, okay, perfect example.
I'll put the phone in between her face and mine
and
as she's purring.
She goes,
and
when you are walking into the room, let's say you're in a relationship, Spike, with your wife, or Laura with your boyfriend, or me with my wife. If you walk into the room and your significant other doesn't look up from their phone or puts more attention to their phone. Now, they were already doing something before you walked in the room, but it really bugs me. And I have a little thing in my head that goes like, well, what is she looking at that's more important than...
Well, I just came in second.
I just came in second to
phone.
What?
To who knows what.
To probably a cat video.
Right? 3-year-olds hitting wiffle balls into their parents' privates? That's, while it is hilarious... It's not important than you or me.
Or if your wife walks in the room.
Right. And I'm already on my phone. And I'm guilty of it as well.
We all do it.
Of committing the act and have it committed against me.
And doesn't it feel gross?
It does.
I feel bad about myself when I ignore my cat. I really genuinely do.
Yeah.
She waits all day for me to come home.
To see you.
And hang out. And
you have your phone.
I have my phone in my face.
You know, the missus and I go to bed at different times because I need to go to bed and fall asleep. But I'm scrolling my phone last night. I swear to God, our dog started pawing at me.
You went, what are you doing, dude?
Buddy.
You're ignoring me. I'm right here.
Dad.
That's funny.
Seriously.
All right. Be careful of those phones, folks. They're addictive. All right. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
High five. Up top. Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Heck yeah!
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Yes!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping. Woo!
For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
See country star Aaron Lewis and the State Liners at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, March 24th at 8 p.m. And now an added show on March 25th. He's a multi-platinum artist whose raw lyrics and powerhouse vocals have captivated fans for decades. Take a bullet. Now, he and his band, the Stateliners, are coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Get your tickets now to see Aaron Lewis at muckleshootcasino.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. The stem cell therapy you did on my knee was a game changer. But Dr. Dan, people ask me all the time if you're seeing the same kind of success treating neck and back pain with stem cell therapy.
Great question, Brock. As you know from your experience, we've had tremendous success treating major joints like hips, knees, and shoulders, but we've also seen excellent results treating neck and lower back pain. In fact, we're the only clinic in the Seattle area offering image-guided stem cell and PRP injection therapy specifically for neck and low back pain.
How cool is that? If joint, neck, or back pain is holding you back, call Dr. Daniel Nelson at Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine and find out if stem cell therapy may be right for you. Dr. Dan here is the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's 425-823-4000 or danielnelsonmd.com.
Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at amazonbusiness.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Suspected Iranian drones hit at least 3 ships in and around the Strait of Hormuz overnight, continuing attacks that have paralyzed traffic through the vital shipping lane, despite a stern warning from President Trump. The president says U.S. forces have hit 28 Iranian mine-laying ships as of today.
We took out just about all of their mine ships in one night. We're up to boat number 60. I didn't realize they had that big a Navy. I would say it was big and ineffective.
CBS's Imtiaz Tayyab in Doha.
It is a very, very dangerous situation that's unfolding in the Strait of Hormuz right now. We have to remember that this is a choke point where 20% of the world's crude oil passes through, and that has ground to a halt. And so the U.S. is concerned, the Gulf is concerned, the world is concerned as this continues.
The International Energy Agency says it will release a record 400 million barrels of oil to ease the hit to the energy markets. Stryker, a global medical tech company, says it is experiencing a global network disruption to its Microsoft environment as a result of a cyber attack. A group of Iran-linked hackers is claiming responsibility. The Pentagon reportedly shut out some photographers at the last 2 Pentagon briefings. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
Video cameras are still being allowed, but some still photographers have been excluded. The Washington Post reports the move came after Secretary Pete Hegseth's staff deemed some of their photos unflattering. Since then, the paper says only the Defense Department's staff photographers have been permitted into the briefings.
This afternoon and evening, numerous tornado watches have been issued from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, down to Houston, Texas. Damage is being surveyed from Pontiac, Illinois, some 80 miles east to Lake Village, Indiana, where 2 people died in a suspected tornado last night. It's where Stephen Travis has lost his home.
Walked in the bedroom, got knocked down, climbed in the closet, and it's over. Come back out, crawl out, the roof's gone, everything. So, trees are down, windows blowed out.
A new payphone in Boston connects college students with seniors in Nevada.
The graphics on the bright yellow phone on Commonwealth Avenue read, "Call a Boomer." It connects to a similar phone at a senior living complex in Reno. Kala Kessler is with the group Matter Neuroscience, which set up the phones to connect boomers and zoomers.
They're 2 of the loneliest demographics.
Kira made a call.
I love it. I mean, I think younger people and older people, I would argue, need to talk to each other more.
We're often in our little bubbles, and we have a lot to learn from each other, despite our differences.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Inflation ticked up last month, and the stocks closed mixed. This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Mornings. This is a slam dunk.
So cute.
Gail came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
The latest effort from state Democrats to fund the Department of Homeland Security. More on that coming right up. But first, let's check in with Lori and get a check on your KIRO News Radio traffic.
Traffic is brought to you by the Seattle RV Show. Southbound 405 in Northeast State. Now we have a collision in the right lane, making it a 9-minute delay, Linwood to Bellevue. Everett to Seattle, a 32-minute drive. Still seeing about a 4-minute delay, Renton into Bellevue. If you're heading out over the mountain passes, traction tires are required on both I-90 and US 2. Don't miss the Seattle RV Show, March 12th through the 15th at Lumen Field Event Center. Shop over 400 new models, every budget and lifestyle. Get tickets at seattlervshow.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Senate Democrats tried to break the Department of Homeland Security shutdown by funding TSA, FEMA, and the Coast Guard, but not immigration enforcement. Washington Democrat U.S. Senator Patty Murray wants reforms at ICE before it gets its funding.
We cannot have masked thugs kidnapping American citizens, no badge or identification, no warrant, nothing.
Republican Katie Britt says Democrats are playing politics with people's lives.
We will not go backwards back to defund the police. We will not go backwards to the failed border policies of the Biden administration. We're not doing it.
Republicans blocked Murray's effort. The DHS shutdown is now in its 4th week. Kitsap County deputies arrest an intoxicated man on the roof of a Silverdale hotel after he allegedly tried to break into a guest room. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
Deputies got a 911 call from a guest at the Best Western Silverdale just after 3 Wednesday morning. The guest reported someone trying to break into a second-floor guest room from the balcony. Kitsap County Sheriff spokesman Kevin McCarty says when deputies arrived, they found the suspect on the roof.
Extremely intoxicated. He was a mixed martial arts fighter, threatened deputies several times, and had to be tased and carried off the roof.
The man was arrested on suspicion of burglary, obstruction, and resisting arrest. McCarty says you should always make sure to lock your balcony door, no matter which floor you're on. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Iran is pulling out of a 2026 World Cup match planned for Seattle. According to the Seattle Times, the country's sports minister cites regional military tensions and uncertain security conditions. Lawmakers have approved a new income tax on households making over $1 million a year, passing the House 5146. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports after Governor Ferguson signs it, the law will face legal challenges.
Former Attorney General Rob McKenna says if and when the millionaire's tax goes to court, supporters will argue
that your income is not your property. Sorry, you don't have property rights in your income. That's not within the definition of property.
McKenna says according to the Constitution and case law, because income tax is considered a property tax, it has to be a uniform tax for everyone. Supporters of the bill say case law is old and outdated. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Well, Seattle Mariners fans will find cheaper food at the ballpark this season. The team just announced a new 2026 value menu featuring $5 hot dogs and beers. The lineup includes more than 20 food options starting at just $3. And now check out your KIRO News Radio weather. Rainy, windy, near 50 in the Seattle area this afternoon and into the evening. We'll see wind really picking up towards the end of the evening commute, actually. You can expect downed trees overnight and branches and certainly power outages. Rainy and 44 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Lots of stuff to get to. We got to jump right into this, Spike. Food. You just heard Nate talking about it in the news break there. Everybody's excited about this Washington State Ferry edition at this. It's like a little food boat, a food vessel.
It's a food boat, man. Remember the ice cream helmets? Remember the little hard?
Gosh,
yes,
100%.
Right,
yes.
Those are fabulous memories for kids, and this is genius. I wish I had invented this. I wish I'd patented this.
Can you explain for the audience? We'll put a picture of this up if you guys are watching live right now on the YouTube or KIRO Radio app.
Well, this is not a new food item. What this is, you know the paper trays you carry your food back?
Yeah.
Imagine it was made of plastic, looks just like a Washington State Ferry, and you get to take it home.
Bingo, you got it.
$8. Every kid in your family. My question is, can I bring it back next game? Right? Because, I mean, once you get it, you got it, right?
That's true.
You get it, you got it.
Yeah, imagine.
Yeah, part of going to the ball game with your kids is grab your ferry boat.
I would say they probably wouldn't serve it to you. You could probably buy the food, and then you could then put it in your little ferry boat.
Well, yeah.
Vessel.
From a health perspective, I don't want them loading food that I'm going to eat.
So you probably can't bring your own cup to a game. Be like, put my beer in
push
this.
port in here.
Yeah,
it's molded. It's molded to my mouth. It's got a good mouth feel.
When I saw this originally, I was like, oh man, $8 for fish and chips and a souvenir boat thing? That's fantastic. But that's not the case.
No. You can put any number of edibles, yummy edibles, into these plastic ferry boat trays, if you will.
So it's going to be like a, you can get, let's see here. They got ribs, pulled pork, especially churros, which I like. Apple
churros.
pie.
Sure bet.
Fruit cereal. What does that mean?
I don't know that one.
Fruit cereal? Like a
bag of Fruit Loops for the kids?
Is it Fruit Loops?
Maybe. I'll have to look into that one.
What's a ballpark Fruit Loop cost? That's a lot. I bet.
The new Mariner Value menu Nate mentioned in the news update.
Sure.
Boy, you got to love these because ballparks can break you, right?
Tell me.
Beers anywhere from $8 to $5.
Okay.
Refillable Coke. You buy a Coke, you bought a Coke for the day. $5.
That's actually a pretty good deal.
Pretty good deal, right? $5 hot dogs. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, all the things you want at a ballpark. All the food you want. Caramel corn, $7. Was it mochi? Is that what they call it, Laura?
Mochi.
$4 for mochi.
Yeah.
Right?
Here's a question. Do you think that the Washington State Ferries system, do they get a piece of this? I mean, that is their most iconic brand.
Boy, I don't know if
it's the boat.
That's a great question.
Or do the Mariners just get to use it? Like, do they have a copyright on the image of a Washington State Ferry? Because we're not the only people who have a ferry system. Obviously, you got you got Jersey. And or Staten Island Ferry is like
Staten
another
Island's,
big one.
Yeah, we're the largest in the country.
They look like ours,
not
though.
The world. They're exactly like ours.
But they're painted orange. Like ours are the white and green.
And to your point, the color scheme on this Mariner collectible food ferry.
Yeah.
Food vessel food boat. Oh, it's called a food vessel food boat.
It's not
called a ferry.
Okay.
I wonder if that's our answer right there. It's not called a food ferry.
It's called boat?
It's good. Well,
food vessel boat.
Food vessel boat for Mariners launched a food vessel boat. Food boat.
I think you're right.
Fans.
I think that's their workaround. Otherwise, they'd have to pay a little bit of that money.
Well,
to Washington State Ferry system.
It is great promotion for the ferry system.
Well, it is, but
it's great promotion.
Nice if they got a little piece, piece of the action.
They're in the red. Hey, man, it doesn't have any logos. It doesn't say Washington State Ferry anywhere on it. The picture I'm looking at is a true representation.
Yeah.
It's got Mariner logos front and back, as you do, because boats come both ways. Genius.
You know what they should do? They should sponsor one of the boats because you can buy. Do we still do that on boats, or did they kind of nix that idea?
They nixed advertising. People
they had
weren't
Coke
crazy.
For a while,
yeah, they did. And don't get me started on that again. This is still the worst sore spot for me.
You wish they still had advertising?
I do. I think if you were on a ferry boat and if you're troubled by the advertising helping to pay for our ferry system, do me a favor, turn around. Look out there. The view's not of the boat. The view is of what you see from the boat.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
it's a valid argument.
I say that, but we had family in town. We took them down to a waterfront restaurant right there in Edmonds.
Yeah.
And part of the beauty of it was watching our beautiful ferry boats come and go to the Edmonds terminal.
But let me ask you,
there wasn't a Coke logo on the side.
Let me ask you this thing.
I'm owning myself right now.
You see one of those boats pulling out. You're sitting there at Ivar's.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Ivers or Ivar's?
It's Ivers, I think.
Ivers. You're sitting there at Ivers.
I don't take my aunts
or
to
wherever you're
my
sitting.
aunts are rich and old. I don't take them to Ivers.
Okay.
I take them to a nicer. Not that I don't love Ivers. But
where do you take them?
Anthony's.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're at Anthony's.
You're at Anthony's.
You're 3 bites into their garlic mash.
Yeah.
And you're watching these boats fly across the water.
Yeah.
They're not flying, obviously, but they're slowly going across the water, if they're running at all. But let's say they're running that day.
When running.
And as it pulls past the ferry dock and it just makes its way, you can see the full thing, and your aunt lines up to take a picture on her. In my head, it's a classic camera. It's not her phone.
Yeah, she never did.
Even though old people are very quick on the phones. They've adopted it very nicely. She pulls out her camera, she clicks a picture, and she zooms in, and it's Washington State Ferry Systems brought to you by Verizon Wireless.
Yeah, you're right. I hate it.
It does lose a little something.
No, you're right. I got to own that.
But I also understand. I'm constantly harping on the ferry system for running so poorly and not having money. So I also agree with you that it's not a horrible argument.
What if Coca-Cola paid for the hybrid engines? Coca-Cola paid for them just so they could pin our boats. The whole boat would be red with a big white stripe down the side.
See, there you're stepping too far.
Oh, it's free motors.
It's the green and white. I do like the green and white.
It's wonderful. That's why this is such a cool thing.
And it's also why, because they call it a boat. They're not calling it a ferry. I think it's a I don't think they're giving the Washington State Fairies a
Not getting
piece.
any juice out of this, yeah.
They should give them a piece. Did you say you had another stadium that has better
What do you think of this?
options than
Yes, because even with the value menu, it's still pretty expensive to feed a family at the ball game, right?
Yeah.
St. Louis Cardinals have this thing they're doing now called the Coca-Cola Unlimited Ticket Package.
Oh, I like
okay,
the
for
sound of this.
2026, you buy $29 per person. You get a seat in the ballpark. That's up in section 271, 272. $29, you get a seat in the ballpark and all you can eat concessions.
Shut it.
All you can eat. All you can eat popcorn, refills, hot dogs, as many as you want.
That includes
pretzels, nachos.
That includes
sodas,
a ticket to the game?
and a ticket to the game for $29.
How can they do that?
Because they know that you're only going to eat. You or I could get our money's worth. Kids not going to get their money's worth.
Yeah.
Kids
going
going
to half a hot dog.
half a hot dog, box of popcorn,
Waste it.
some caramel corn. You're taking some leftovers home. It's probably going to be a moneymaker for the team, but it sounds so good to a family.
It's going to get them to go.
$29 for per person, a ticket to the game, and all you can eat.
It's also going to get you goodwill.
Absolutely, they look great.
And you're right about that. I didn't think about the $29 ticket thing. What you're going to get is you're forcing them to buy concessions that they're not going to use. So you're right. The kids are going to eat less. The adults are going to eat more. It's all going to even out.
It balances out. Yeah, they're not going to lose any money on this.
Because when you originally were telling me that they had something, I was like, oh, I wonder, because I didn't know it included ticket price.
Yeah.
I just assumed this was like 25 something bucks for just the concessions only.
Yeah.
And I thought in my head, like, oh, that's actually a pretty sweet idea because as a fan, like I have, a bunch of kids.
Sure.
I go up to the concession, I get a hot dog and some chips and all the different things and popcorn, I bring it back, I spread it out, I go back 5 minutes later, I go to a different stand so they don't recognize my face. You could do that all day.
Oh, with your all you can eat.
With my one. It's like it's like I'm going to Izzy's Pizza.
Right.
Getting one plate.
I like it.
Is Izzy's around anymore? You remember Izzy's?
I remember Izzy's. I'm not sure if they're still around, but I remember Izzy's. I love the all you can eats.
Can't believe that business model didn't succeed. It might still be around. Is Izzy still around? Text us. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973.
Hot dogs, brats, chicken tenders, nachos, popcorn, peanuts, fries, chips,
hungry.
pretzels.
That sounds good.
And all the Coca-Cola products you can drink.
I like it.
$29 with
if
your
they had
game
Coke
ticket.
Zero, I don't want to drink all the sugar.
All Coca-Cola products you can. They got Coke Zero.
I love it.
They got Diet Coke, Coke Zero. It's all there for you. Sprite. Sure.
Sprite?
Knock your socks off.
I love it. Right. Here's what I don't love. Copper thieves. Copper thieves are targeting my people, the Nordic people.
I thought you meant the light rail users.
The light rail.
Sound trans.
Those are not my people.
No, they're not.
This was apparently at the National Nordic Museum.
Oh, Ballard.
Copper thieves hit last Friday for the 5th time in a few months, and now they're out thousands of bucks. This according to Savage Citizens posted this on X, but according to Charlie Sullivan, who's the director of operations there, what are you doing stealing the copper from the Nordic people? They need it for whatever they use it for. I assume it's electricity related.
Shields and weaponry, isn't it?
Probably.
They're
still in the. Is that Iron Age?
Yeah,
copper.
An Iron Age.
They're still in the Iron Age. We're a people of great tradition. The Nords, and so
now these are your people.
Yeah,
you're of Nordic descent.
Yeah.
Have you been to the museum?
I have not been to that museum.
It's a newer last 10 years, I want to say.
Yeah, I think I've driven by. They have a big what's it called out front? A big
troll. They got a troll outfit. One of many around
which
town.
in my culture is a big part of our legends.
You betcha. Sure.
Have you seen the movie Trolls?
I have. With the one where the mountain comes to life?
Where the mountain comes to life?
They made a sequel,
on Netflix.
by the way.
They made a sequel.
Yeah.
And I saw the ad for the sequel on Netflix. And it's all like it's dubbed, but it's originally in
Norwegian,
language.
whatever language it is. I'm not sure if they're Swedish, if they're
I don't know if it's Swedish or whatever.
Some Scandinavian dialect.
It's in Scandi. And so I just watched it was the evening one night and I was like, "Oh, this looks interesting." So I turned it on. It's actually a pretty good movie.
I loved it.
I loved it too.
I saw it, yeah.
And it seems ridiculous. The whole premise seems ridiculous, but it actually is really good.
Yeah.
And then I saw that they made a second one. I was trying to convince my wife. I was like, "Oh, we should watch this." And she's like, "Are you nuts?"
What do you mean? Why?
Because she didn't see the first one.
Okay.
So she thinks the whole thing is silly.
Does she think that Justin Bieber playing the troll in the sequel will ruin it?
He doesn't.
No, it's Timberlake.
She's probably more likely to see it. She'd be more likely to see it if it was Justin Bieber.
That's a different troll movie.
Oh, you're right. That's Trolls.
Yes.
Those are actually all right.
Those are
Another side
adorable.
note, those are actually very good movies.
Yeah, don't confuse. Don't take the kids to the troll movie because that's scary. It's scary.
It's scary and it's violent and it's got pretty good graphics actually for what it is.
So I think I have a solution for the folks down at the Nordic Museum in Ballard. You know where I'm going with this, right?
No.
Anatomic troll outside.
Oh, just protects everything.
Real club.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes sense.
Robotic?
Sure.
You have somebody over in, Mumbai or somebody that's wearing, virtual goggles.
Anywhere.
Can sweep the copper thieves aside with a big club.
Boosh.
Ooh, just
take them out, splat them. That's what trolls do.
They do.
They eat bad guys or good guys. Trolls actually don't care. They're anybody could be a
meal
for a troll. All right. I think we've talked enough about trolls. Let's move on to this real fast. I got to play this because this is really interesting. Yesterday, they finished up 24 hours debate on the income tax. And we were talking a little bit about the income tax earlier. And if you guys missed it in the first segment, but I actually thought a really good discussion about what caused Howard Schultz to decide he was going to move out of Washington State and officially become a resident of Florida, which the timing is very interesting. It's very coincidental if it was not related to.
I think it might have been a cause, but he sure painted it that way.
He posted it within. Yeah. It seems like he was sitting there just waiting because it's quite a lengthy post that he wrote.
Oh, it's a
instantly hit send, and now it's within minutes. So Howard Schultz is moving to Miami. He's saying he's entering kind of a retirement phase of his life, or whatever. There's a debate about whether or not it's tax related. I think it is, but whatever. But earlier, Representative Natasha Hill, while they were debating this 9.9% income tax on earnings over $1 million, although they never posted a floor, so clearly it can be manipulated so it's below $1 million, but whatever. She said this I thought was interesting. She talks about not being afraid of capital flight, and not that it's not like the Howard Schultz is a punctuation to say like, hey, gotcha. But she said a couple of things that I thought we should try to discuss for a second, because I do think it's interesting. She's basically saying she doesn't think millionaires are going to leave as a result of this, because she says it's really expensive everywhere you go, tax-wise, and so why would you leave Washington? But here's what she had to say.
With capital flight, the truth is millionaires would pay more in other states, Madam Speaker. Even our youth today appreciate when we talk about the difference between 6, 7 figures. And then this only applies to 0.25% of Washington's population, meaning 99.75% are not going to be paying this tax. Those making 6 figures or less, Madam Speaker, pay less in Washington. If you're making about $60K to $120K a year in Washington, you don't pay any income tax. Over in Idaho, you're paid about $3,400 to $6,800. If somebody's making over 7 figures, they still pay less. For example, if you're making $1.2 million here in Washington, you get that first milli free, and you're only paying taxes on the $200,000, about $20,000. Over in Idaho, you're going to be paying about $68K.
She says that first milli is free.
Tax-free.
Well,
there's validity to what she's saying. I'm not saying it's not going to drive businesses out or hire.
It's not tax-free, though. The first milli is not tax-free.
It's just untaxed. Yeah, it is. From an income perspective. From an income tax perspective, she's saying. Whereas if you move across the border to Idaho, the entirety of your $1.2 million would be taxed at their rate, and she said pay about $60,000 in state income tax. Of course, you won't be seeing the plethora of other taxes.
Okay, so that's the point at which it becomes muddy.
Right,
and
so, people have to do the weight. But I think her point is there's not going to be this massive exodus of high earners. There's going to be loss. I'm granting you that. But maybe she's wrong.
Time will tell.
You said earlier in the show today, we're in a science experiment now, a fiscal science experiment where the only thing that's at stake is our livelihoods, and our quality of life.
It's interesting because what she's not talking about is Washington and Idaho. From a tax perspective, there's a ranking. If you look at the state, like what your tax burden is.
Okay, that's a real true barometer. What we're talking about.
That's a real true barometer.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things. So, in Washington ranks, if 1 is the state where you are the least burdened by taxes and being the best, Washington ranks 45th, which means we have quite a high tax burden. Idaho ranks number 11. So, from a tax burden perspective, yes, maybe you might pay currently, right now, if you are without the income tax. It has now passed, so when it goes into law, what she is now saying will no longer be the case.
Well, the good news is only a shortfall to 50th.
That's true.
From 45th.
It's a lot less. Yeah, you're totally right. You're totally right.
There's your silver lining, Representative Hill.
Idaho has a flat tax. Like you and I were both talking about, a flat tax is not a horrible idea. We both like the idea of a flat tax.
I'm with you.
They have a 5.3% flat tax for individuals and corporations. And when you think about all the other things in Idaho as well, we have higher property taxes. We have higher gas taxes.
Higher sales taxes.
Higher sales
B&O
taxes.
all of it.
Higher B&O tax.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Idaho doesn't have a B&O tax, I don't believe. Isn't Washington the only state with a B&O tax? Am I wrong about that? Are we the only one?
I'll look it up before I answer that question.
So in Washington, I mean, all these other things do add up. She's not technically wrong about high-earning people when it comes to your income tax burden. But that immediately goes out the door. They're going to be taxed in Washington at almost double the rate of people in Idaho. And you have in Washington the gas tax, B&O tax. You ever answer that?
Washington, West Virginia, and Ohio.
So 3 states have B&O tax. Okay, so
Boy,
one of
that's
3.
an attractive group. Jeez, whiz.
Everybody loves to live in West Virginia. So Washington, we pay
coal.
$4.72 a gallon today for gas. Today, Idahoans, what do you call somebody in Idaho?
Yeah, but I'm going to go with that as opposed to my guess.
Idahoans.
Good.
Oh, you were going to say
Yours is-
Idahos.
Yeah.
That's funnier.
Well, yeah,
Idahos. Idahos are paying $3.47 a gallon.
They call them escorts. The official name.
Oh, is that what they get? That's their
yes.
team name?
We're here all week. Try the veal.
So, I mean, what she's saying, technically, it's true, but I do think it misrepresents the burden that somebody will feel tax-wise.
Yes.
I don't think fairly represents how somebody feels. If you are a rich person in Idaho and you're a rich person in Washington State, where's your money going to go the furthest, and what quality of life are you going to enjoy?
Yeah.
You would have to live in both of those states, I guess, to come up with the answer.
Keep it 100, as the kids say these days, Representative Hill.
Yeah.
If you're going to talk about tax burden and why people won't leave the state because of this increase, give an honest representation of what the tax burden is for that state.
Yes, absolutely. There you go. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We will be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
2 competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-3899. That's 800-518-3899. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
At Bible Law Group, we understand what it means to be local legal representation. From shopping at the Bon Marché, picking up gear at Chubby and Tubby, crying for Joey Cora, now for Cal, grabbing a burger while JP Patches clowns by. We live here and fight for you. That's why Bible Law gives local representation to those facing legal problems too big for prayers, even if you can't pronounce Squim or Puyallup. Our legal team has secured more than $40 million in settlements for our clients. We're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Mariners fans, the 2026 season is officially on deck. And Cal, Julio, and the defending AL West champs are ready to feed off your energy at T-Mobile Park. Be here for every monster home run.
There it is, number 60. The magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Every 100-mile-per-hour heater.
And he throws it and the ball game's over. Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Every clutch moment.
A bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
It's going to be an epic 50th season, and you won't want to miss it. Mariners baseball. Try to answer.
The Mariners' first homestand is stacked. Don't miss opening day on March 26th. Cal Raleigh's 60 home run bobblehead night on March 28th. Presented by Alaska Airlines. And a star-powered showdown against Aaron Judge and the Yankees. March 30th through April 1st. Get your tickets today at mariners.com.
The first few steps that I took in the morning were pretty painful.
This is Carlos.
I had been told by multiple orthopedic surgeons that there was no alternative for me.
That wasn't what he wanted to hear. You see, Carlos is an active guy.
I played basketball, and for 3 to 4 days after, my knees would just be so swollen. And now I can play basketball, and there is no swelling. There is no pain in the knees.
No swelling, no pain, because Carlos went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm just happy to be able to be out there. And then knowing that tomorrow I am not going to suffer for this.
What do you say to your friends and family who are in pain?
I say, I had horrible knee pain and stem cells really worked for me. You might want to go to Dr. Wagner, just get a consultation before you have surgery.
Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Out at the Wilcox family farm, our hens roam freely on fresh green pasture. But that means predators like coyotes and eagles are always nearby. That's where our team of Great Pyrenees help out. These gentle giants were born to protect, and they become a part of our family. Raised alongside the chickens from puppyhood. Our hens are raised humanely, our practices are organic, and our promise is simple. Fresh eggs straight from our farm to your table. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. President Trump will be in Ohio and Kentucky today to address growing concerns over the cost of the conflict with Iran and the growing energy prices Americans are experiencing. News Nation's Tom Dempsey reports.
New numbers out from the Pentagon show the first 2 days of strikes against Iran cost more than $5 billion in munitions, and gas prices are also a major concern right now. And in a glimpse into how Americans feel about the situation, new polling out from Quinnipiac University shows 74% of registered voters describe themselves as either very or somewhat concerned that the war with Iran will cause oil and gas prices to rise here in the U.S.
According to Gas Buddy, the average price for a gallon of gas is up 60 cents since last month. UW Medicine is preparing to offer in-house measles testing ahead of this summer's World Cup in Seattle. Dr. Alan Greninger says the combination of large crowds, air travel, and low vaccination rates could fuel more cases. He calls the current outbreak entirely preventable through vaccination.
I remember 20 to 25 years ago, when we talked about measles, it was eliminated in the United States in the Western Hemisphere, and it was next up for eradication. You can get rid of it. We can win this.
So far in 2026, there have been 26 confirmed measles cases in Washington. In all of 2025, there were 12. 80% of this year's cases are in children. The Seattle City Council voted unanimously yesterday to block any new detention centers from being built in the city. The year-long moratorium is aimed at preventing federal immigration authorities from opening new facilities. Councilmember Alexis Mercedes Rink sponsored the bill. She called detention centers, quote, sites of serious harm. The Seattle Times reports the measure specifically targets privately run facilities like the one in Tacoma. The bill is written around land use concerns to give it stronger legal footing. On Wall Street, the Dow down a little over 300 points as traders weigh inflation risks. S&P 500 down 13, NASDAQ down 8. And now check out your KIRO News Radio traffic. We send it on over to Lori.
And traffic is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Eastbound 90 is closed across the pass due to multiple spinouts. When it reopens, chains will be required. US 2 traction tires are required. Linwood to Seattle, you're going to see a 6-minute delay. Renton to Bellevue, a 4-minute slowdown. And if you're heading from Renton to Seattle, that's still a 2 extra minutes. Repairs for the First South Bridge will continue through midnight on Friday. Find your pot of gold at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save up to 20% plus enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com now. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Hey, thanks, Lori. A stormy day with another atmospheric river making its way inland as we speak. And by the end of the evening commute, we'll start to see the wind really kick up with gusts up to 50 miles per hour here in the Seattle area overnight. Heavy snow with blizzard conditions over our mountain passes. And right now, we have steady rain in 46 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Lots of stuff still to get to. This is really interesting, and the timing of this is it's either really deliberate or bad timing. I'll let you be the judge. But Mayor Katie Wilson in Seattle, as they announced a new income tax on high earners, took this opportunity to also talk about a new tax by way of levy for libraries in Seattle. She is proposing a $410 million levy to support public libraries. And I'm interested in your take on this, Spike. Should we hear some audio from her first, then we can kind of get into the specifics of what they want to do with this money? All right. Here's a little bit from Katie Wilson.
Seattle is a city of readers. I believe each of these new investments are critical to ensure a strong library system for years to come.
When I was a kid growing up in a low-income, not very safe neighborhood.
This is not Katie Wilson. This is somebody else speaking.
She's really getting good at impressions. Yeah, good for her.
She's very good.
Time well
In
spent.
the Bronx, our local library was the only place my mother would let me go alone. At the library, I felt safe.
Oh, sorry, my audio. Here
When I was a kid growing up in a low-income...
Oh, here we go.
In my 43 years in library service, I've never seen libraries, books, information, and knowledge more under attack in the United States than we've seen in the last few years.
I didn't know that was said. I have thoughts on that. But let's get to let's get to the levy part. Do you think that this is a big thing for her? This is one of her earlier proposals that she's making. I mean, this is, she's how many months into mayor, and I'm trying to think of other proposals she's made. This has got to be one of the earlier ones.
Keep in mind this is a necessary evil because the previous one expires this year, right? There was one that was passed in 2019. That was like half this number, though.
Yeah.
And I think that you can attribute that to whatever factor it may be: greater service, more expensive materials, commodities, cost of running a library, yada yada. So if they don't pass another levy, there'll be no funding for a Seattle Public Library system. So in that regard, I'm for it because funding will expire when this levy funding package, which expires this year from 2019.
It wouldn't be no funding if I'm reading it correctly. I might have this wrong, but as I understand it, the levy accounts for about a third of the library's budget.
Okay, well,
in the previous levy, maybe the new levy covers everything, I don't know. That could be. But the previous levy, it was a third of the budget, and then the rest comes from the city's general fund. So I would assume that would also be the case with this one, but I don't know that. $410 million, though, that does seem like a lot. They're not building. Are they building new buildings? Is it just, from what I've read here, it seems like they're saying that most of the money would be spent on extended library hours?
Hours of operation, or early literacy programs, multilingual and early learning programs for kids aged 0 to 5 at 7 different locations.
Yeah.
Social service referrals, providing community resource specialists at libraries.
Sure.
One of the things we talk about is all-encompassing services to help the lower aspect of our communities get what they need in life. Security, because what struck me when that one speaker who spoke after the mayor saw about, the library was the only place my mom would let me go because I was safe.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but those days
Those are gone.
Are a thing of the past.
Yeah, I wouldn't let my kids alone in a library.
I think library security is an important thing.
Yeah.
There's technological investment in the entirety of the Seattle Public Library system with this proposed levy.
Sure. I mean, oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, no, go ahead. I was going to ask a bigger overarching question. Give me your thoughts.
The amount of money is eye-catching to me. I mean, I know the previous levy was 2019, and obviously dollars change somewhat, and but I don't think money is double what it was in 2019. We haven't grown by that much with inflation.
Okay.
So I don't know that makes total sense to me.
I think it's about a third. Hasn't doubled, but I think maybe it's like a 35%, depending on which metric you're looking at and reading.
I could buy
the
that.
Cost of everything is,
I could buy that, but
not 100%.
But not 100% increase. Right. So I was also looking at way back in the day. I think this was back in 2004. Seattle built a massive. It's kind of like the famous, like it's basically like their big jewel in the crown, glass, beautiful library.
The downtown main branch.
The downtown main branch.
Yes, you bet. You bet.
So that was $165 million to build.
Beautiful.
2004.
Building. Art piece. Yeah.
Now, when you look at 2004, if you add in inflation-adjusted dollars, that's about $280 million today.
For one massive major location.
Major location. But they built 40,000 square feet, something like that. It's a
Probably
massive
more.
building,
Yeah,
maybe even
it's
more.
Big. It's big.
I don't know what $400 million gets you. I mean, when you say that the main expenditure, and I think to the tune of something like $170 million is how they're accounting for this. I could be wrong on that, but something like that for extended hours.
Well, that's hours and access. And that all the things I mentioned earlier are covered under that 200, because they break it down pretty well on the Seattle Public Library 2026 library levy proposal. The entirety of the proposal is available to read online.
Yeah, where are they allocating this money?
$218 million goes to funding for extended hours, as you mentioned, early literacy programs, multilingual programs, social service referrals, security for all these locations, all ages programs getting about $12 million, more story time, more classes and workshops to help people achieve life goals, career training, those kind of things, more events that help bring joy and connection to people's lives, just quality of life things, increased security and emergency preparedness. That's almost $8 million there. 3 security officers, upgraded security systems.
3 security officers?
And upgraded security systems.
Oh.
There's but yeah, if you want to become a security guard at a library, it pays over $2 million a year. That's not the case.
How many people are they going to hire? How many security guards?
It says increasing security and emergency.
It doesn't say by how many.
It says it adds 3 security officers. I'm not sure what the total.
That's it?
I'm not sure what the total officers. There's probably already security officers.
No, I understand that, but they have 27 branches.
Yeah.
So three additions. And how much money?
Maybe they'll all work downtown.
How much money?
That's just part of the $7 million, $7.7 million for that, for security. System upgrades and additional security officers, $7.7 million.
Get yourself some ring cams and hire more people. Honestly, 3 people for $7 million bucks?
$58 million.
I don't understand it.
$58 million plus for additional books and materials, investing in upgrading their collections. Shelving staff, collections and shelving staff, fine-free borrowing. I thought, that's going to help people just take books and relief of fines.
Fine-free borrowing?
That's
what does that mean?
I don't know. That's what it says. Maybe is that like in fine relief? I don't know. Building maintenance.
How much for fine-free borrowing?
That's part of the $58.5 million includes books.
So you're just buying everybody a book.
Well,
isn't the purpose of a fine is like, hey,
bring it back.
There's a community thing, bring it back. It's motivation to bring it back. Why would anybody bring a book back if they're not going to be fined?
I don't know. I'm just telling you, I don't understand. They list what the breakdown of funding is.
What?
I can't tell you exactly.
Why do we even have a library if you're not having to bring
$58 million?
Aren't you supposed to bring the books back?
You are.
Well, then what's the mechanism to? It's not security guards. There's only 3 of them for $7 million bucks. That to me is a perfect example.
Okay.
$410 million is a crazy amount of money.
Can I give you one bit of good news which you'll love?
That people might say no to this?
No, well, that's that. That
It's
of
on a
course,
levy. Give me the
it's
option.
a levy. Right, it puts the power in the hands of the citizens.
At least she's not doing what
right.
state
She's not
legislators
declaring a
did.
library emergency, an overdue fine emergency.
Tell me the part.
The lowest number on this page in its entirety, by far, is in admin costs. The lowest number on here is for admin.
Yeah, but the other numbers have been insane. What's the admin costs?
$9 million. Well, for 3, I'm just kidding. That's not 3. I'm kidding.
Is it $9 million?
It's $9 million for admin costs.
No, it's not.
Levy administration, rate-based allocations of costs of centralized services provided by the city of Seattle. Boom.
$9 million.
Yep, for admin. I thought it'd make you happy, but apparently not. Hey, $38 million for Wi-Fi hotspots. Quite a lot of them, I bet. IT and online support, public staff, computers, printing and copying services. You got a copier and a printer.
Actually, they're going to have a
$38
place.
million.
They're going to have a copier where you can just print money, and then just give it away, and you don't have to bring it back because
You just have to pay your fines.
Yeah,
you got a late fee. Hop over to the printer.
In fact,
print
there's
us
gonna
up
be
some of those live bucks.
There's going to be a Benjamin tucked into each one of those books as a bookmark that you are welcome to not bring back.
So you're going to vote no then?
Well, I don't live in Seattle. This is not my money. This is everybody else's money.
I mean, neither. I wish I could.
All right. Good job, folks. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
2 competing budget proposals.
Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Do you have at least 1 month worth of food in your pantry? If not, you should definitely go to mypatriotsupply.com right now. My Patriot Supply is America's #1 supplier of long-term storable food. They've helped over 3 million Americans get prepared. And for a limited time, when you order their best-selling 4-week food supply, you'll get an additional week of food absolutely free. There's no catch, but act fast because this offer ends soon. Claim your free emergency food kit now at mypatriotsupply.com. That's mypatriotsupply.com.
Here's a tale of Linda trying to lose weight, but the med prices she found were all over the place.
Hidden fees and markups made her jaw drop low. Then she found Good RX. Now she's in the know.
GLP-1 subscriptions FDA approved.
With clear upfront pricing.
And same-day pickup.
That's Good RX, the no-nonsense way. Save time and money on prescriptions.
Get to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
I had pain. I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
Whether you've done some preparation already or you're just beginning to plan for your retirement, it's never too late to make sure you have everything covered. Elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayich joins me. You have an opportunity coming soon that will help answer some important questions, don't you?
We do. And every month we take 3 or 4 opportunities to go to the communities and educate people about what proper retirement planning is. The notion of retirement planning around having a hodgepodge plan, working with a financial planner, a lawyer, a CPA, a doctor, those pieces by themselves are not going to give you the results you want in retirement.
And you and the LifePoint Law team want to teach us about the safe harbor harbor trust?
They do. The single biggest financial threat in retirement is an uncovered medical illness. A safe harbor trust should be a must in most of these estates, but is not.
Be part of the next seminar in Tacoma on March 10th, Bellevue on the 12th, Federal Way on the 14th, and Everett March 17th. Learn more and secure your space at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Say goodbye to clogged gutters and climbing ladders. With K-Guard by Guardian, leaves stay out, water flows freely, and your home stays protected year-round. Enjoy true peace of mind, no maintenance and no rust. Choose from a variety of colors to match your home's look and boost your curb appeal. Ready for hassle-free gutters? Protect what matters most with Guardian, the original Make Your Roof Last company. Visit GuardianRoofing.com to learn more.
Staples has hot deals on everything for your business, like up to $125 off your print order. Ends 4/18, exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Rolling Stone calls Victor Wooten one of the 10 greatest bassists of all time. Now he's bringing the Wooten brothers to Dimitro's Jazz Alley, March 19th through 22nd. 4 nights, 6 shows, pure funk. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. Before we get to this World Baseball Classic audio, which is just it's gonna make you feel all sorts of warm, fuzzy feelings about sports in just a second. But before we do that, Spike, over the break, you said I have a number. What were you saying? You had a library number you didn't tell me?
We were reading through the breakdown of the proposed levy to fund Seattle Public Libraries, which
$410 million.
$410 million. Yeah. There was a figure, and I was going through some of the things, what's being spent on security, but spent on new books, on technology, all these things.
Sure.
It was the $2.3 million designated in the $410 million library levy for DEI.
2.5 for DEI?
2.5 million to promote DEI.
To promote DEI. What do they mean by that even?
Well, just
they're not specific?
They don't break down what exactly that would entail. They just give an item list of what it's going toward.
Gotcha.
2.3 million for DEI with inclusion, to make it a more inclusive library for gay, lesbian, trans communities, those type things for gender equality, all these things.
They apparently don't feel like the library's appealing enough, according to Katie Wilson, so they need $2.5 million extra dollars.
You know me, I'm a proponent of the community. I'm a proponent and a believer in DEI. I think it's valuable to the growth of a society. But I think you can do that with just a sign on the wall or a directive to the employees in the handbook.
Yeah,
why do you got to spend $2.3 million?
And you already got printers at the library. Just print up something.
We
stick
talked
it on
about
the wall.
Cost of printers. Yeah, exactly. And I'm not demeaning the value of a DEI program. I just don't know why you have to spend $2.3 million to tell people to be nice to everybody. To be inclusive.
This is a lot of money. $410 million. That's a lot of money. We were talking about this over the break. This is the reason why people are skeptical of when government says we need more money, we're out of money, we got to have more money. I mean, the reason it's on everybody's minds lately is the income tax conversation.
Sure. Well, the budget deficits and everywhere you look.
Budget deficits and everything.
Yeah.
But when you really boil it down, you start digging into the nitty gritty. When you find out the amount of money they spend on stuff, I mean, in the giant line item of things that they're spending money on, $2.5 million doesn't seem like a massive amount of money. In fact, it's a drop in the
0.05% or 0.5%. Yeah.
Almost nothing of what they're seeking in this levy for this thing. But if you add that up with the new security stuff that only hires 3 new guys, with the other things, and then you look at that's just for libraries. You think of everything in Seattle's budget. Seattle has an almost $9 billion budget.
Right. And you wonder how you get to that number. This is how you get
How do you get to $9 billion?
Right.
And then Washington State as a whole, currently proposed right now is like they're going to need $80 billion to run the state. And then you go, But what are you spending that money on? Why is it so necessary to raise taxes on people when you got $80 billion coming in and you're still saying that's not going to cut it? It seems like every time you scratch at something, you go, well, is that the best way to spend money? Is that the most necessary expenditure of that money? People can debate that, but that's a lot of money. But whatever. Should we make people feel good, Spike?
Sure, do it.
Let's make people feel good.
This is a great story.
And how do you say this name of this country? I don't know how to say this. Is it because I thought this was it was a Chechnyan player, but it's not Chechnya.
It's Czechia.
Czechia. Okay, so it's
Czechoslovakia.
Oh, okay.
You've heard it? Well, Czechoslovakia has been no more since the fall of the Russian Soviet Union.
So their new version is Czechia.
Since '92, there's Czechia and there's Slovakia. Those two, that country became two.
So former Czechoslovakia and now Czechia.
Czechia.
Okay. This is a player. That's
the easy thing to pronounce.
Yeah,
the country
good luck with
from.
his name. His name is Andrei Satori. I'll go with that, even though I don't know if that's exactly it. He got to pitch in the World Baseball Classic, which is happening right now, and Team USA is going to be playing for their lives. No, Team USA is not playing. We're watching for our lives against Italy and Mexico. We're going to play later this afternoon.
Correct.
And if Italy wins, Team USA makes it
Moves it on because Mexico will have 2 losses.
If Mexico wins by more than 5 runs,
or they score more than 5 runs, it's so convoluted.
If they score more than 5 runs,
we're in. USA's in. If Mexico beats Italy 1-0, Mexico and Italy go. There'll be 3 if Mexico wins over Italy, 3 teams will have a 3-1 record. And the tie-breaking, it's easier to elect a pope than it is to figure out who's coming out of this group in the World Baseball Classic.
When do they send up the smoke singles? Singles actually was a misspeak, but it works better.
At the end of today's 4:00 match between Italy and Mexico.
Okay. So Team USA will know whether or not they're playing.
That's not the good news we're trying to bring you.
Here's the good news. This guy got to pitch probably the last time he's ever going to pitch in his life because he's a full-time electrician.
Yeah.
And he got to pitch 4.5 innings. And, I mean, not everybody who's playing in the World Baseball Classic is an MLB star. And this guy got to play against those guys, though. Listen to this. He got a standing ovation when he walked off the mound.
And the ovation for Andrei Satori, the bow from his manager, Pavel Hadin. Build the statue in Ostrava for Andrei Satori, a Czech baseball legend.
What a moment for this guy. Just beautiful.
It's funny because I just saw this thing yesterday. It was like a young athlete who was probably college age, and he had written this piece that he was then reading to the internets, and it was like almost an ode to the athlete that I used to be, that I no longer get to be because he's not good enough to play pro.
Yeah. That's the end of an era of his life.
When you walk away from one of these sports for the last time, that's sometimes the biggest part of your life, and you got to figure out what's next.
And when you get that last chance, you 4 2/3 of scoreless innings in the World Baseball Classic to a standing ovation to a sold-out stadium, Major League Stadium. What a moment for this guy. Tomorrow I'll be replacing stolen copper wire and check you.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that could make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right, tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Charlie Harger here. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 206-210-1350. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be 6 figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce. Pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
My name is Carlos, and I'm a Cub Scout. I'm here to talk to you today about becoming a scout like me. Cub Scouts get badges for doing fun activities, and we make friends. Scouts go camping, climbing, and fishing, and swimming together. We play sports and go to parades. Scouts also help people and become the best versions of themselves. Visit bascout.org to find a pack near you, get any questions answered, and sign up for Cub Scouts online.
Big Trees is Washington's premier tree sales and transplant company. Looking for a big selection of big trees? Visit Big Trees in Snohomish or BigTreeSupply.com.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds, and you're overweight. Winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you, with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou, because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-529-2856. 800-529-2856 or biglou.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump says he will tap the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to try to bring prices down because of the war with Iran. AAA says the national average for a gallon of regular unleaded is $3.59. That is up just over 60 cents since the war started. For Atlanta rideshare driver Ian Marin,
I was putting the mid-range at $3.02 and now is almost at $4, making us work more.
Patrick DeHaan is head of petroleum analysis for Gas Buddy.
It's really what the market is looking for is to offset the 20 million barrels a day of oil that would be flowing through the Strait of Hormuz. And that 400 million barrels sounds significant, but if the rate of release is only 1 to 2 million barrels a day, we're still at a significant deficit in a market that's hungry for crude oil.
The president has said again that the war will end soon, whenever he decides it should, as Iran says it's ready for a long-term war of attrition that will destroy the entire American economy. CBS's Imtiaz Tayyab in Doha, Qatar.
Qatar has been defending itself. You know, every few hours or so, we hear the sound of loud explosions, which are essentially missile intercepts when it comes to Iranian missiles or Iranian drones. And I have to tell you, even though Iran has been degraded militarily, very clearly so, those strikes are still relatively frequent.
The State Department says fewer Americans are asking for help to leave the Middle East. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
A statement says charter flights have been leaving the region with empty seats, and with commercial flights becoming more available, the State Department is scaling down the number of seats available on its flights as demand has dropped significantly. Over 43,000 Americans have returned from the Middle East since the fighting began, using a variety of means.
2 people are dead after 4 suspected tornadoes touched down across Illinois and northwest Indiana last night. Lake Township, Indiana Fire Department spokesperson Lori Postma.
A large tornado hit our community, and it hit us hard.
Also hard hit was Kankakee, Illinois. National Weather Service crews are surveying damage today. Numerous tornado watches have been issued through this evening from Pittsburgh down to Houston. As political leaders feud over Department of Homeland Security funding related to immigration policies, the funding shutdown for TSA workers at airports is the third time they will not be paid on time in recent months. Angela Grana is Regional VP of the American Federation of Government Employees, covering those who man security lines at Denver International Airport.
To have the stress of not getting a paycheck, it's not fair. It's not fair for us. We seem to be the light switch, turn us on, turn us off, turn us on, turn us off. We're not robots. We do have an important job.
This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at jtv.com.
Well, it took over 24 hours, but the so-called Millionaire's tax passes the House. More on that coming up. But first, over to the KIRO Newsradio traffic desk, where it's a busy afternoon for Lori.
Yeah, this traffic is brought to you by Seattle RV Show. Eastbound 90 is closed across the pass due to multiple spinouts. Chains are required once it reopens. US 2, traction tires required. Linwood to Seattle, an 11-minute delay at 29 minutes. Still seeing a slow go. Renton to Bellevue at 20 minutes. And if you're heading from Renton into Seattle, a 5-minute slowdown. And in case you hadn't heard, repairs for the First South Bridge are going to continue through midnight this Friday. Don't miss the Seattle RV Show March 12th through the 15th at Lumen Field Event Center. Shop over 400 new models for every budget and lifestyle. Get tickets at seattlervshow.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Lawmakers have approved a new income tax on households earning more than $1 million a year, passing the House on a 51-46 vote. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports it could mean the state's highest earners could soon pack up and leave.
As soon as the Millionaire's tax passed the House, Starbucks founder Howard Schultz announced he's moving to Florida, where they don't have a state income tax. Former Attorney General Rob McKenna predicts the tax will also scare away potential businesses. And the result?
We're going to turn into Oregon, which has much lower per capita income levels than Washington State because they don't have the economic engines that we do.
McKenna says the tax is likely to face legal challenges soon after Governor Bob Ferguson signs it into law. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Washington Attorney General Nick Brown is suing the U.S. Department of Education. Brown says the department's new requirement for colleges to hand over detailed student admissions data violates federal law and puts student privacy at risk. The mandate demands 7 years of admissions and outcome records broken down by race and sex. Last year, Secretary Linda McMahon said students deserve to know whether schools admit applicants based on, quote, an objective assessment of merit and achievement. And as Lori had just told us, northbound 99 First Avenue South Bridge in Seattle will stay closed through Friday for temporary emergency repairs. KIRO 7's Paula Tristan Aruda has more.
The work was supposed to wrap up tonight, but washout crews say cracks in the steel deck grates that were originally found last month, they're worse than they thought. This is phase one of the fix to stabilize the bridge.
Drivers should continue using signed detours and expect traffic delays. Well, we're expecting wind gusts in some spots of 50 miles an hour later this evening, so be ready for power outages.
Experts say now is the time to get a few things ready in case the power goes out at your house over the next 24 hours. You should have a couple of flashlights with good batteries ready to go. That's compared to candles because experts say that could cause a fire. Make sure that your cell phone is also fully charged. Have extra blankets, layers, and coats available. If you have a generator, make sure that you have fuel for it.
KIRO 7's Brooke Griffin. And now let's check out that weather. Rain and wind will pick up during the evening commute across much of the region. Blizzard conditions over the passes with visibility down to a quarter mile. Thursday, the winds will diminish just a bit, but steady snow in the mountains and rain in the lower elevations will remain. 44 and steady rain in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. All right, we got 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. If you guys want to be part of the conversation, you can text us at the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. We try to read as many of those as possible, and we take the best of the best, and we use them at the end of this hour when we read your text messages. So make sure to get them in early and often. 888-973-5476. Spike, let's start with, this is an international story. Obviously, everybody is aware of and has been talking about and probably has an opinion on the war in Iran. And it now has an effect. I mean, it's had many effects. Gas prices have gotten higher, things like that.
36 cents on national average over the last 3 weeks.
Nobody wants to pay more.
Or 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
And here's another thing. We, in the United States of America, we're hosting the World Cup coming up soon.
We are.
And Washington has 6 of those games. Is that right?
That's currently. But news today from the Iranian Minister of Sport announced that due to this conflict and a questionable element of security for the Iranian World Cup team, they will not be taking part in the World Cup 2026.
So they said, considering that this corrupt regime, this is from their sports minister, they said, considering that this corrupt regime has assassinated our leader, under no circumstances can we participate in the World Cup. So they're not going to be there. He says, our children are not safe and fundamentally such conditions for participation do not exist. What are they going to do now about the games that were supposed to happen? Because Iran was supposed to play Egypt.
One of the 6 games scheduled for Seattle was
it June 26th?
Perfect. Yep, June 26th.
June 26th.
Yeah.
They were supposed to play Egypt.
At Seattle Stadium, because we can't call it Lumen Field with World Cup, can't have sponsorships.
That's right.
Ferries can't say Coca-Cola Stadium, can't say Lumen. Thank you, World Cup. It's all good.
It's interesting, too, because the Iran-Egypt game was supposed to be the Pride Night game.
Pride game, yeah.
And so now that's obviously, and there was a lot of questions because Iran and Egypt both
filed protests with FIFA about having to play in a game that was contrary to their beliefs. Both of those countries have very restrictive views on LGBT plus Q communities, and to play in a Pride game they felt was an affront to their ways,
and
their traditions.
And now that's not going to be an issue
not
for them
happen
anymore
either way
because game's not happening.
If what the Minister of Sports said today stands, it's pretty big thing for a country to bow out of the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, given their circumstances, they're in a war.
I get it, but it's no small thing to say we're not going. Remember when the USA boycotted the Olympics in Russia because of Russia's invasion? I forget where it was at the time. I think it was Crimea.
Okay,
that we decided to do that. That's a big thing for athletes who have trained their entire lives. And for the pride of a nation in their team to play.
Yeah.
But that being said, they're not going to play in the World Cup as per today, and I'm sure that's not going to change between now and June.
You were looking into this, though, because one of the things that obviously they want with the World Cup is there's a lot of revenue. People come and stay here. They spend money on VRBOs.
You betcha.
We had a story recently about how much people can expect to make. If you have a VRBO house that you can rent out.
Yep.
What was the number? Was
Airbnb?
Was it like $40,000 or something that you could bring in over the 6-week period if you're renting out?
If you max them out at one of their most optimal properties, there's incentives to register as a new VRBO or Airbnb, renter.
Yeah.
Person who has a property for rent. They're trying to sign up as many new properties as they can.
Sure.
Because of this onslaught of revenue coming and visitors coming to the World Cup in Seattle. They estimate $930 million. Will be generated in the city of Seattle and King County in Seattle.
Almost $1 billion.
Almost $1 billion that money's coming to Seattle for the World Cup.
Coming in, World Cup dollars.
They say $652 in direct spending and over $100 million in state and local taxes.
Jeez. So, but that number's going to change.
If you drop one of the 6 games, if you reduce that number by 17% is 1/6 roughly, you're talking about $150 million. Less than they anticipated because of this decision from Iran to not take part in the war. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of dough.
Yeah. I mean, and it doesn't diminish our investment in the game. We're still investing in infrastructure. We're talking about, expansion of light rail, expansion of transportation services.
FIFA, who runs the World Cup, they have all these requirements.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you also had to spend a certain amount of money because Lumen Field is not a grass field.
No,
right?
Right.
So they had to put in a whole new field, or they're going to have to put in a whole new field.
And you spread that across 6 games, it comes... it's much more fiscally economical of a decision.
Yeah.
5 games makes a little more money for each cost of each game. Yeah,
you got to spend money to make money.
Yeah, so the profit margin drops even further.
It'll be interesting to see if this ends up. That's still the World Cup is not until summer, and
first game scheduled for June 15th here in Seattle. Yeah.
If this conflict, if this war is over by then, and if things have cooled down, is there still a version where they could step up and say, like, hey, we still want to compete in the World Cup? Because it's not just, they might have a problem with the United States, but they still would want to play, I would imagine, and represent their country, especially if they think they have a fair chance of doing well.
I would think so. And there are games in Mexico, there are games in Canada, right? This is a kind of a North American World Cup.
Yeah.
But if they play and move forward and move on, games would have to be played in the United States.
So they're in Group G, so they would play against Belgium. Egypt, again, was going to be the June 26th game that they were going to pull out of, and then also against New Zealand. Both the New Zealand and Belgium games are in California, in Inglewood, and then obviously the Egypt game was going to be here in Seattle. So it'd be interesting to see if any of these end up happening. If this is just one of those, for now they're putting a stop to it, and maybe the door's still open if they decide to play. And
depends on how long it drags out, and how. That's another whole question. Is it almost over? Is there still plenty left to do? And you get so many mixed messages about what.
Yeah, initially it was like, this is going fast. It's going to just be a couple weeks. Could be as much as 4 weeks. Now, who knows? Hopefully, obviously, people stay safe, and hopefully it is a swift end. All right. Should we talk about something else that is coming up soon that we want to make sure that people stay safe?
Sure.
Snowstorm this weekend.
Blizzard.
I want to
say Snowmageddon because I have to pay a 37-cent fee every time I say it.
Just the other day, we got a dusting, a tiny dusting. I think just yesterday, actually, just tiny dusting of snow. And my kids went wild. They were so excited about it. They got up at like 6:30. They saw the snow outside, and they ran outside, even though mostly it was still grass. There was enough white stuff that they said, we could sled on that.
Snow.
So they pulled the sleds out, and they are sliding. And luckily, the grass was still frozen enough from the nighttime.
It didn't rip it all up?
It still ripped it up. But the sleds would still sled. It wasn't just mud.
Yeah.
And
so that's this weekend.
Yes. And so they're going wild right now. But there's supposed to be a lot of snow coming. And not only snow and a blizzard with 40 to 55 or 45 to 50 mile an hour winds.
They're still calling for 2 to 4 feet in the past.
2 to 4 feet.
That's crazy.
In Stevenson, Snoqualmie, and the Olympics. Then you said after that there's
atmospheric rivers is forecasted to come in after, on the heels of a blizzard. An atmospheric river is going to come in early next week. Now that is still 5 days away, and we don't know. Weather models change, but they're getting pretty good at this.
They seem to be getting better.
Especially when you talk about it, we're not talking about whether it's 8 inches or 12 inches of snow. We're talking about a blizzard and an atmospheric river. They can see this stuff coming from Hawaii.
I take it seriously now more than I did at this time of year. In the summertime, they'd say rain's coming. I probably wouldn't listen to them. But this time of year, we just had that crazy flooding.
With back-to-back atmospheric rivers.
Back-to-back atmospheric rivers, and we had the river. Do you remember up in the, I think it was the Snohomish Slough or whatever it was, but it was up in my neck of the woods.
Oh, where they had
debris. All the stuff going underneath the trestle.
Yeah.
They had to have 2 giant John Deere excavators out there reaching over the side and plucking stuff out, and they still couldn't keep up with it. And this massive, big giant, it looked like a massive, like sci-fi 50-foot tall beaver had built, not even 50, like 200-foot tall beaver, had built a huge beaver dam.
Of storm debris.
And that was everywhere. And then they had the levee breach, which ended up, thankfully, wasn't a big deal. But remember, the levee breach had happened.
How much flooding? We had, I don't forget the number, but there's so much disaster relief requested from the federal government.
Yeah.
Which we're still waiting to see if we qualify for that.
Yeah.
And here comes, this is going to be, flood's going to be the story next week at this time. I'm not quite, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the forecasters will not quite get it right. But if it's a 4 foot of snow blizzard, followed by an atmospheric river of rain, all that's coming down the mountain at the same time.
Everywhere there was
every river plain,
the valleys and the rivers
from Duval to Skagit, flood.
Like the Duval,
down in Olympia.
Yeah, and we had a Duval shelter that got set up with the Red Cross.
Yep,
and we had them on there. Like, there's a lot of people here.
We talked to the church up in Skagit.
Yeah,
right, up in, what was that, Mount Vernon?
I think so.
Or it's everywhere from Olympia to Canada. We're in a floodplain, a river basin. Coming off the Cascade Mountains, and if this storm hits, 2 to 4 feet of snow in a blizzard condition, which gets when the rain hits right on back. That's what happened last time. The atmospheric river washed off what little snow we had accumulated this season.
Mm-hmm.
That means more than not just a foot of rain falling, but then the 4 foot of snow being melted down and washed down on top. And we're looking at massive flooding again, potentially next week.
Fingers crossed, no.
I hear you.
Fingers crossed.
Power outages they're calling for today.
No, not power
50 mile an hour winds.
That's too much. That's tonight?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. I don't like that.
As this storm comes ripping through.
I don't want it. Stay away, storm. Go away. Can we, speaking of going away, Howard Schultz, we've talked about this a little bit earlier. Howard Schultz put out this thing about he's leaving Seattle, and there's debate over, Spike and I were debating, is this related to income tax stuff?
Or is he trying to piggyback on the genuine warning that high-priced earners and business in the state may be so impacted by this income tax that they'll leave for greener fields, greener pastures elsewhere?
Yeah. If you haven't read his piece about this yet, it's very interesting because he kind of details his entire journey. He goes all the way back to 1979, the cross-country road trip that he made with his wife in their 1979. What year was this that he came? 1982. I'm sorry. He was in a 1979 Audi, but it was 1982, September 7th, 1982, when he started his new job at a place called Starbucks, which we all know.
Don't forget the dog. They brought their dog.
And his dog, which was named?
Roscoe?
Jonas.
Jonas. Oh, darn it. Damn.
He was an early Jonas Brothers fan.
Yeah, he was.
So he and his wife Sherry make the cross-country trip. And I think the reason that he's telling the story, he's doing it, he doesn't explicitly say this is income tax related, although the timing of his release of this very long post, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, paragraphs long, detailing his history of building the company, and then now they're entering the he talks about the retirement phase of his life.
Phase of their life. They traveled the world. Where do we want to finally put down our last homestead, maybe, of our lives?
Yeah.
He picked the East Coast.
Same place as Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, son and fun and grandkids.
Exactly.
Grandkids.
Yeah.
But he spoke in this letter about how the atmosphere, the business climate, I should say, of the Northwest is what allowed his dream to take root and flourish. Yeah. And build this largest coffee empire, one of the largest, most successful brands on the face of the earth.
Yes. It's got to be the largest coffee, right?
And he easily. And he bemoans the fact that Washington has become such an unfriendly business climate.
He hints at a lot of this stuff, and he says he hopes that Washington will remain a place for businesses and entrepreneurship to thrive, creating essential opportunity to those in Seattle and the surrounding areas. And then he talks about he's leaving. And he says, we're going to forever be grateful for the memories made in Seattle and the relationships built along the way. To the family, friends, and partners who made Seattle our home for so many years, thank you. Onward. And then he says, go Sonics.
No, he didn't.
No, he did not. That would have been a funny
go
little...
Thunder.
Yeah, he said go. Oh, my gosh. Can you imagine if at the very end he said hashtag go Thunder?
Go Thunder.
Roll Thunder or something. I don't know what their catchphrase is. I cannot watch that team.
I don't want to know. Me neither. It's too painful. Still too
painful.
Still too new.
But I said this earlier, and I do stand by it. He should not have sold the Sonics. Absolutely.
No.
He should not have sold
if you want it out of the NBA, find a local investor to keep the brand here.
100%.
It's our team, not your team.
But I do understand why, at least in my head, and maybe I'm reading too much into this, in my head, I think this is... I told you that joke the other day about your mother's on the roof.
Yeah.
I feel like this and Starbucks corporate announcing that they're moving into they're going to add some headquarters space. They're not moving headquarters yet, but they're going to add headquarters space in Nashville, Tennessee, to expand in that area.
Yeah.
I do feel like this is kind of easing into the news that it's very expensive to do business in Washington State.
Yeah, and we're not leaving, but their coffee's on the roof.
Think about it. If you're a big company like Starbucks and suddenly you're looking down the road, you're going like, we're going to have to pay 10% more for what we're doing right now. Would you stay?
It's a tough sell when especially with a company like Starbucks. They're publicly traded, right?
Yeah. And they're international.
And they're international.
Probably no longer feels like I'm just a Seattle guy.
Right.
He's in Japan. It's
funny
everywhere.
because when he said, we're building a headquarters in Nashville, Tennessee, because we want to explore that southeast region But we'll always, in that statement there, he said, Northwest will always be home.
Yeah.
Our main headquarters will always be in the Northwest.
2 days later.
Me personally, me and the missus, me and Sherry, we're bumping down to the Sunshine
Into Miami. A little sunnier down there. We
got our
like
own
it.
little island next to the Bezos Island. It's going to be great. We're having people over.
Yes.
Great. When you say I'm never leaving, it's always going to be home. Those are the kind of buzzwords.
You just go. That's the same kind of thing where you go like, I'm never going to sell the Sonics.
Never moving the Sonics.
Are never going to
leaving.
Get moved.
I got Clay Bennett's word. He put his hand on a scorecard and promised he would never leave the Northwest. And 6 months, 2 years later, he's busting ground in Oklahoma.
I want to
City.
play this because I think you'll appreciate this. Yeah, I did have this thought as I was thinking about the people who are now considering leaving, which I don't. If you listen to the show regularly, Spike and I, the way that we see things, we see him differently sometimes, but I don't fault him for leaving. I understand why he's doing it. But it did make me think when I look at the lawmakers who have just passed this income tax, it's going to go back to the Senate. They're going to have to do one more little vote on
reconciliation. Yeah, they'll approve those two amendments.
Those two amendments, and then it's going to get to the governor's desk, who's already indicated. He says, "I'm so excited to sign this. I can't wait to sign." He's already holding his pen. Who was that president who held the pen so that his hand didn't?
Biden?
No, it was Dole, Bob Dole.
Bob Dole, he
wasn't president.
He had paralysis, right? Or he had an injury, a war injury, if I'm not mistaken.
But he held onto the pen.
He held that pen. Yeah, you bet.
It's like Bob Dole. He's already holding his pen. It was a bad joke. It didn't even pan out. But anyway, it made me think of the lawmakers in Washington and what is about to happen in Washington to businesses, to people in Washington. And have you ever seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
I think I've read the book, but I don't think I've seen a movie.
You should see the movie with Martin Freeman.
You've
not seen that?
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Now that's Bilbo, right?
Yes.
Martin Freeman?
Yeah. Or also the original Jim from The Office. I mean, he's not Jim in the original version.
He was the lighting stand-in for the porn scenes of Love Actually, too.
I remember.
Right?
Yes. He's just like the background guy.
Yeah, sure. But he does the lighting filling.
He's come a long way.
He
was also in Sherlock.
Yeah, he's wonderful.
He's fantastic.
Wonderful,
yeah.
But go
on. In
Hitchhiker's Guide to the
Galaxy, Earth wakes up one day to find out that the Vogons have decided that Earth has been scheduled for destruction, and it's time for folks to get out of Earth. And the Vogons are basically an alien race of bureaucrats who don't really care about what happens to the people in the areas that they're messing with, and their job as a race is just to be bureaucratic and triple stamp everything in triplicate and all these different things. It's very funny. They actually describe Vogons in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Vogons are one of the most unpleasant races in the galaxy. Not evil, but bad-tempered, bureaucratic, officious, and callous. They wouldn't even lift a finger to save their own grandmothers from the ravenous bug-bladder beast of Trowel without orders, signed in triplicate, sent in, sent back, queried, lost, found.
Tell me that's not local lawmakers. It's exactly.
It screams bureaucracy. Yeah,
they're even dressed like it. Yeah. And the only reason I bring this up is because the world's smartest, in the movie, the world's smartest, most intelligent species is not humans. In the movie, it's dolphins. And so dolphins decide, hey, we're going to get out of this planet because it's bad. And they have this song. That's a long way to go for this payoff, which is not even a great payoff. And they sing this song. This is the dolphins leaving Earth. So long and thanks for all the fish. I gotta say, that's a long way around for the payoff, which is not great, especially since you haven't seen the movie. So for the audience and for you, I do apologize.
It's quite all right. It's a lovely tune.
It's a good song.
The message rings true.
We also have a lot of fish here, so I felt like it applied in a little way, but whatever.
A lot of big dolphins and sounds.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
there's no beating CM Heating.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we understand improving your home is an investment in your family, and we're here to help make it easier. With our flexible financing, keeping your family safe, comfortable, and dry has never been more affordable. For more than 20 years, Guardian has earned the trust of thousands of homeowners across the Pacific Northwest with a reputation for quality that lasts. So why wait? Start guarding your home today. Call or visit guardianroofing.com.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perongo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
An organized home is a happy home and a happy homeowner. John Curley here. Closets by Design made me and my home happy. Experience the quality and backing of a national brand with friendly local Seattle service. From booking the appointment to a free in-home consult to installation day, Closets by Design will leave you wowed and clutter-free. Right now, get up to 40% off, plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule today.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemen'shealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. President Trump has said again that the war with Iran will end soon. Iran says it's ready for a long-term war of attrition that will destroy the entire American economy. Washington Congressman Adam Smith tells CNN he does not think the U.S. can destroy Iran's military capabilities.
We got drones. We haven't even talked about drones. I mean, drones are pretty easy to build and also pretty deadly. So eliminated, I don't even think the most ardent supporters of the war would argue that. Now you get into a question of degree. How much has it been degraded?
Approximately 140 U.S. service members were wounded in the first 10 days of the war with Iran. 7 service members have died. Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank says he will resist the new Washington law that could allow the state to decertify elected sheriffs. Swank told John Curley yesterday that he won't comply if the law conflicts with his First Amendment rights or his oath to serve local residents.
I'm standing up for the rights of people. And if I can't say what's on my mind, exercise my First Amendment rights, then nobody will be able to. So this is all about speech that I say that they don't like.
Swank was sworn in January of last year. An earthquake hit northeast of Olympia this morning. KIRO 7's Dee Sun with the details.
It happened at 3:49 a.m., registering at a magnitude of 2.9, making it harder to feel because it's pretty small. The depth measuring at just under 17 miles.
No injuries or damage have been reported, but residents may have felt a little shaking. We've got a blizzard warning coming in tonight for the mountains. University of Washington Atmospheric Sciences professor Cliff Mass tells the Jason Rantz Show on Seattle Red, in the lowlands, it's going to get windy.
I expect gusts in central Puget Sound getting up to around 40, 45 miles per hour. There'll probably be a few scattered power outages, but nothing more than that.
He figures winds could hit 60 to 65 miles an hour in the Strait of Juan de Fuca. We've also got atmospheric rivers headed our way, with the bulk of that rain Seattle southward. And now over to the KIRO News Radio traffic desk with Lori, who has an update at Snoqualmie Pass. What are we looking at, Lori?
Yeah, not only is eastbound closed, but now westbound totally closed. And when it reopens, so far, chains are required. US 2 chains required as well. Traffic is brought to you by Wilcox Farms. By the way, Nate, you were talking about these wind warnings, and we're getting kind of this advance notice that the evening commute might be a little tough, so something to keep in mind. Southbound I-5 in Linwood, right at 405, the right lane is blocked with a collision. Linwood to Bellevue, a 7-minute slowdown, and Linwood to Seattle, a 13-minute delay at 32 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, a 20-minute drive, and if you're heading from Renton into Seattle, still a 5-minute slowdown. And again, the repairs for the First South Bridge are going to continue through midnight Friday. Fresh food comes from local farms. Check the package for healthier eggs with 3 times the omega-3s. Choose Wilcox omega-3 eggs, locally fresh since 1909. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Our weather update, well, Professor Cliff Mass just covered that. At this moment, it's raining and 44 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Spike, you take a lot of ride share, do a lot of driving around in the back seat.
I've taken a handful, but not. I don't use it on a regular basis.
Yeah,
I find it to be really helpful. It's not the bargain it used to be.
Yeah,
between surge pricing and
always give you a taste, and
slapping that additional, guaranteed percentage from the city to make sure these guys all get a living wage, yada yada yada. The $8 ride's now a $40 ride. And heaven forbid if you're on a Taylor Swift concert or a World Cup game, then it's a $160 ride.
Seattle has. Am I wrong about this? Does Seattle have the most expensive Uber rides in the nation? Don't they? I think they do.
I would believe that if it's true.
It's
I know we
very expensive.
I know we have, if not the highest, among the highest delivery service, like a Grubhub or a Uber Eats.
Yeah, they had
those are among the highest.
They added on after that,
and the same applies for our rideshare community.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Or our gig community.
Gig workers, yeah. So it's very expensive. Uber can be very expensive, and I assume every rideshare like Lyft as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting. So this new feature, do you guys think this is a good idea, bad idea? Is this going to end up in court? I think it's already in court, but we'll see if it plays out. This makes sense to me. Uber has a new feature. I think we might have mentioned this before, but if a female is calling for a car, she can choose to have a female driver pick her up, or she's open to any driver who picks her up, so a female or a male.
Well, they offer your choice of what type of ride you want. Do you want like a basic Uber? Do you want an Uber Premium, an Uber Black, which is like a luxury car edition? They give you various options on what kind of a ride you want.
Yeah.
And now they're putting into the mix, would you prefer a male or female driver? Because women feel safer with women drivers, given we've had far too many instances and reported of attacks from drivers being attacked, from passengers being attacked by drivers in some cases.
Yeah. Would this be a feature, Laura, that you would use? Do they already have it here locally?
Well, I use Lyft, not Uber.
Okay.
And this has been a feature on Lyft for a couple of years. And I have been using it since they gave me a little pop-up on my phone saying, you can do this.
Was it an immediate thing you started using? Just instantly you went, that makes sense.
I saw the pop-up and I was like, absolutely.
This makes complete sense to me.
Yeah.
It's
a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. If I was a woman, I would want to have a woman driver. Here's a question. Can women drivers choose to only have women passengers?
Yes. I looked into this before the story we got to it. Lyft already has this feature in there. I think it's called Lyft Women Plus Connect is the feature on Lyft that you use, Laura.
Who knows what corporate jargon they're using.
A female driver,
Women Plus Connect.
A female driver can request that they only want to pick up or be made available to female passengers.
Okay. I mean, is there a ton of downside to this? I don't see much of it, other than the lawsuits that it opens itself up to.
I know that for the way it works on Lyft, I have an option to either only do female drivers and wait longer to get a female driver, or scan for female drivers first and offer them my ride, and then keep going down the line if they're not available. So that's the one I have because I'd like to get where I'm going.
Because you could risk it and you could say, all right, I have to get somewhere. I am willing to have a guy pick me up if these other options are not
but my
available
preference,
first.
if you're shooting that message out to like 10 cars, is to shoot it out to the woman driver first.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I understand the dynamic behind it, Laura. I don't mean to, of course, everyone should feel safe when they get into a car. I think the problem here, if you don't feel safe getting an Uber, the problem's not the gender of your driver. It's the vetting process that these companies are using to hire drivers. And maybe that's a pie in the sky that you should. If somebody gets a gig to be a gig driver, there should be a background check and some verification of this as a reliable person.
I do believe Uber has faced some lawsuit regarding that, based on sexual assaults in their cars.
Well, I mean, they've had instances where people can't be trusted, sure, and you can do all the vetting and checking you want until somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
They have a lawsuit, let's see, a U.S. court, Uber, ordered Uber to pay $8.5 million to a woman who says she was raped by a man.
Yeah.
Driving an Uber in a legal ruling that could influence the outcome of thousands of other cases against the company. If there's a lot of cases against the company, if that's a problem, then I think they're, doing I understand it. It makes sense. And to be honest, I wouldn't want, if I had a daughter, I would feel much more comfortable. I don't, but if I did, I'd feel much more comfortable with her in a car with a
female driver,
with a stranger who is a female than a stranger who is a male. Yeah. Guys are creepy. They can be.
They can be. Well, women can be creepy too, but far and away, guys are creepier more often.
Women are creepier in a different version. I mean, like, you're mostly in danger with a female driver in all the stereotypical ways that we might make jokes, but we would never about female drivers. But if we did, we would.
Okay.
You're probably more in danger for that way.
Getting lost.
And statistically, when you think about getting lost,
not getting there in time,
making the wrong direction, crashing into cars,
seatbelt hanging out the door, all the tropes, we got them all.
Stopping for coffee every 10 seconds.
Well, the male drivers that are employed by these gig services are filing a complaint and legal action because they say it allows female drivers to have access to a larger market share.
Yeah.
And that's their legal challenge to this. And from both Uber and Lyft are both facing these challenges.
Yeah, but don't the females who want to use this service, don't they have a right to say, like, hey, I don't want to get in the car with a guy that, might creep on me a little bit?
I would think. And if you're a female driver, you've got the right to refuse service to any customer, don't you? I mean, how can a diner have better protective rights than a driver in a much more dangerous and intimate setting if somebody's in the back of your car?
It makes total sense to me. I mean, you're right. You are in a very dangerous situation.
Yeah, unless you're a New York cabbie with a bulletproof line between you and the guy behind you.
But even
you ever been in a cab in New York lately?
I have.
Good gravy.
Not for years.
It is. It is. You got to. I mean, you put your money in a little spindle like you're buying milk at 3 a.m. in a gangbanger community. It is. You can't touch a driver in a cab.
It's like bus drivers on Metro here.
Well, I wish
a safety screen.
Well, they got a little screen there, but I wish they were safer.
Yeah,
and it's a shame that this environment these days and the climate of who people are and who the mental health issues and the drug addiction issues and just the criminal element issues.
Do you think Uber
drivers don't feel safe?
Should they be held liable? Uber argues in these different court cases where somebody has either been attacked or raped or something. They're saying that they should not be held liable for criminal acts by drivers because they're independent contractors.
That's a question for somebody much higher learning pay grade than mine. I think they should be held accountable. Like I started the whole thing with, you need a better job vetting people. If you're going to be driving an Uber, you should have some credentials. You should be bonded, or I don't know what the requirements are. I mean, it's just you driving a car and learn how to read a GPS thing on your phone is really the only requirement I see now.
I mean, if you ran a coffee shop and one of the employees did something horrible to somebody in a coffee shop, then they would absolutely
the
have
business
a
owner would be
lawsuit
liable,
against
right?
the business.
I would think so.
Well, because I don't know. I mean, Uber is choosing to contract with that gig worker.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
You would also look
yeah.
at someone's qualifications for working at a coffee shop. Maybe criminal background history wouldn't come up, but it should certainly come up if you're going to be driving people alone in your car.
I bet you there are. I would imagine that at most places that you work, they ask for your information. They want your ID. They want all this stuff about you, and not because they want to find out about you before they hire you. Are you even allowed to be around people?
Right.
There's some people who are not allowed to be around.
I can be a driver, but I can't go within 500 feet of a school.
Yeah.
There's a red flag for you.
That's a red flag.
It's striking to
Don't
me
let that guy pick up women.
They spend more time making sure your car meets their requirements than the driver meets their requirements. If I have a jalopy that smells like butt, I can't be an Uber or a Lyft driver.
Like if the car can't be more than a few years old.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But you can have anybody in the front seat.
And again, they have background checks that they do.
Qualifications, but yeah.
But
to your point, I think the company should be held liable or should be at least responsible.
It makes sense to me why they have been assessed damages from these lawsuits.
Yeah.
All right, we have a lot more coming up. We got your text messages. You guys still have an opportunity to get those text messages in. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. We're going to read all of those when we get back. We got a lot of opinions, folks, about Howard Schultz.
Yeah, we do.
Very controversial.
Yeah.
Why did he move out of Washington? Why is he moving to Miami other than the nice weather?
Nobody smiled at me for the last 17 years. I didn't do it.
All right, stick around. We're going to be right back.
KIRO Newsradio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals.
Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Whether you've done some preparation already or you're just beginning to plan for your retirement, it's never too late to make sure you have everything covered. Elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayich joins me. You have an opportunity coming soon that will help answer some important questions, don't you?
We do. And every month we take 3 or 4 opportunities to go to the communities and educate people about what proper retirement planning is. The notion of retirement planning around having a hodgepodge plan, working with a financial planner, a lawyer, a CPA, a doctor, those pieces by themselves are not going to give you the results you want in retirement.
And you and the LifePoint Law team want to teach us about the Safe Harbor Trust?
They do. The single biggest financial threat in retirement is an uncovered medical illness. A Safe Harbor Trust, it should be a must in most of these estates, but it's not.
Be part of the next seminar in Tacoma on March 10th, Bellevue on the 12th, Federal Way on the 14th, and Everett March 17th. Learn more and secure your space at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly with nationwide 5G because Cricket is on the AT&T network. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
there's no beating CM Heating.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at amazonbusiness.com.
Your new home is ready now. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new construction communities across Puget Sound and Central Washington, with more coming. Find your new home at drhorton.com. America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
All right, welcome back to the show. We got a lot of text messages. Why don't we start off with the big topic of the day? Millionaire's tax, Howard Schultz moving to Florida. Bye-bye, Howard. Laura, start us off.
Christy on Bainbridge says, you don't just make a decision to move in one day. This is something he's been thinking about for a long time and probably planning it with his family and so on. And yes, now that the tax is there, it probably solidifies the deal. But he was going to move, regardless of whether or not this tax was imposed.
I don't disagree. This is a point you were making earlier, Spike. Yeah. I don't disagree with Christy. I don't think he went to bed 2 nights ago and then saw that they were finally going to pass it and said, hey, now I'm going to absolutely do it because I, maybe would have stayed otherwise. But I do think over time, when you add up all the different ways that they are taxing people and making it more difficult to have business success in Washington, it makes complete sense to me why he would leave. And I do think there is a straw that breaks the camel's back or the Schultz's back, and this might be it. So, I don't know. Maybe we're all saying the same thing.
425 says, bye, Howard. Nobody cares. Nice bye-bye emoji. That was nice. We said earlier, it's not Howard so much; it's the business.
I disagree that nobody cares.
It's worse. It's worse. They're putting a headquarters down in Memphis or Nashville than it is that he's setting up a house in Florida.
I mean, you only have so many rich people, and when they leave, I mean,
they're gone.
Howard Schultz did contribute money to the Washington, state fund through taxes, and he will no longer do that in Washington State.
Yeah.
Barb in Auburn says, I wonder if the tax burden in Washington State would not be so high if we had an income tax for everyone and lower sales and property taxes and less or no sin taxes. I support the millionaire taxes, Barb. It's interesting. You look at a state like Idaho that does have a 5.3% income tax. But tax burden-wise, it's much cheaper to live in Idaho because they don't have all the other crap.
Yeah, so that's what she's saying. Yeah,
but Washington is not doing that.
Well, if this blows up in our face, like you mentioned earlier, we're in the experiment.
Yeah.
If it blows up in our face, maybe they'll look at a total tax revision in this state, an income tax, and get rid of all the garbages.
Or maybe they'll vote out all these yahoos. I was going to say a different word, but I won't. All of these yahoos.
Yahoo, it's a
who are trying to take more of your money. And they'll try something else. Maybe they'll try something else, which I think would be nice. Let's see. Bob and Edmonds. I personally know of 2 multimillionaires who left the state because of the politics here, including taxes. One sold his business and the other is in the process of doing so. Bob is not unique. There are a lot of people. Spike, you and I were talking to one of them right before the show.
Yeah.
Who said this would have been he's about to retire. But he said this would have been very bad for his business.
Yeah. And he benefited from a business friendly climate in this state.
Yep.
And today's business entrepreneurs, wanting to be entrepreneurs, aren't going to move here or start here.
Yeah.
Do I have to read this one? Okay. On
Please, yes.
Pre-show bathroom use. Jake and I made a little bit. We had a moment before the show. We were both.
A moment.
Yeah, we had a moment. we were taking advantage of the last moments before the show started to hit the bathroom while we could. And Josh and Albert, I made a joke that we're on the same cycle. Josh and Albert says, I'm right there with you, Spike. I got a buddy of mine, and we're always joked that we are on the same cycle. I'm going to drop that word.
He says number 2.
Yeah.
Listen, that wasn't even the conversation, folks.
No.
We were onesies.
Yeah.
Okay? We were just a quick bathroom break before we get on the air.
Yeah.
3 hours. We're not going to, we're not wearing Depends in here. On Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Doug in Mount Vernon says, long-winded payoff for the answer of 42. Yes, absolutely.
Is that 42 with the Dolphin music song? Is that 42?
Well,
I don't get it.
The secret
No,
to
tell me off here. Tell me in the men's room when we're done.
I'll tell you, yes, when we both go.
On spouses and cats hating us on our phones, Curtis in Auburn says, my wife is fine with my phone use, but my cat, Kyle, will charge across the room to bite the phone out of my hands.
Good for you, Kyle.
You know, Rue destroyed a KIRO computer during COVID.
Your cat's name is Rue.
Yeah.
Is it a reference to...
It's reference to nothing. It's the name she came with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just fit her so well. I just kept it. No, but she bit the edge of the laptop screen and it shattered immediately. And I brought it to Vern, our engineer, and he touched like one key and goes, yep, this is done.
No way.
It's
Nice job,
unsalvageable.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Dog ate my homework, tried cat ate my laptop.
Clevin Woodmill says, I use an Apple Watch to vibrate as an alarm. That way I won't wake up my wife when my alarm goes off. Way better than an audible phone alarm. Oh, that's good.
Genius tip.
Mariners New Food Options 425 says there is no such thing as a ferry boat. Stop with the ignorance.
We've gotten this text every time we talk about ferries.
Aren't we? Isn't it
Is it a ship?
because we're
I
saying...
think
is it
it's the
redundant because we're
redundancy of
saying
boat.
ferry and boat?
But I felt like we should finally address it because we get this text every time
Get
we
it,
talk about the
425.
ferries.
Whatever, we get it. A ferry. Why should you say ferry?
I didn't until this moment. Thank you. Ben from Earth Round says, unlimited hot dogs. God bless America.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what baseball's
Bottomless
all
bun,
about.
they call that. It's great.
What was the park? Do you remember? Was it the Padres? Who did it? They had the helmet full of hot dogs. Do you remember that?
Oh, I do remember that. I want to say Chicago for some reason. Maybe I'm wrong.
Chicago.
Might have been the Cubby fans.
That's all the time we have today, folks. John Curley's coming up next. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that could make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right, tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Charlie Harger here. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 206-210-1350. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
Great decisions start with knowing your options. Lake Washington Windows and Doors are built to perform. Their windows are 25% more efficient than Energy Star standards, cut noise up to 50%, and are designed with low-maintenance, clean glass technology. While most window frames are hollow, theirs feature Comfort Core insulation for superior energy efficiency. Find your pot of gold with up to 20% in savings and 12-month financing with zero down, zero payments, and zero interest. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do? My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find